Good evening, ladies and germs. It's the late night boxing talks. Talking about the late night boxing talks. Got the shotgun right here in case y'all get out of line. Pew, pew, pew. Shit is wild out here, man. I can't really believe that Keith Thurman. It's like, you can't be serious, bro. You made a whole argument about the American dollar and inflation and how a pack of gum don't cost what it used to cost. Bro, that's more reason for y'all to not put that damn fight on pay-per-view. If everything on pay-per-view, if everything is more expensive, then why are you expecting people to spend more bread? That don't even make sense, man. That situation is a combination of things. It's to satisfy the agreement that the PBC has with Fox to deliver 4 to 5 annual pay-per-views, but also to satisfy the purse demands of fighters that perhaps are getting paid a little bit too much or want to get paid a little bit too much, a dollar amount that does not reflect their actual marquee value. It's weird that Keith Thurman, who has traditionally done very good numbers on regular television, that his big comeback fight isn't on regular Fox, because I think that fight, on regular Fox, I think it could do 2, 3, maybe even 4 million, because Caleb Plant brought in like 1 million views once, and he's not as popular as Keith Thurman. Like, people do watch Keith Thurman, for what it's worth. I think the Lopez fight, when he came back and he had the Josecito Lopez fight, that fight did good numbers. I remember that fight did good numbers. And I'm like, well, why didn't they just put that on regular Fox? It would have did good numbers. And I don't know. I don't know whose decision that made. And that's where the other angle of it comes, that perhaps the reason it's on pay-per-view is to satisfy the inflated purse demands of the fighters and the managers, that the network's not just going to, oh, well, here's $1 million and we could put it on regular Fox. No, they like, nah, if you want all that bread, you're going to have to go on pay-per-view to get it, because we're not just going to give you that. We're not just going to give you $2, $3, $4 million or some shit like that. We might give you one, and then, whatever else you want, you could get it from the pay-per-view. And all that does is limit the amount of eyes and the size of the audience. That's all that does. You're just limiting the size of the audience, putting a fight behind a paywall when there's no grassroots demand for it. Traditionally, we all know that pay-per-views and pay-per-view fights, traditionally and ideally, are the kind of things that you build. You build a fighter so that one day they'll be able to fight on pay-per-view. You don't just put any old shit on pay-per-view and then just cross your fingers and hope for the best. And that feels like that's what they're doing, you know what I mean? These are very strange times. And, you guys know how I feel about that shit. I'm not buying that fight. I'll catch the highlights, bro. I literally don't know what the fuck gonna happen in that fight. I don't care what's gonna happen in that fight, because it's not gonna it just doesn't matter, like, period. It doesn't matter. Like, there's gonna be a DAZN card that same night that doesn't cost me an arm and a leg. There are actually 3 cards going down this weekend, and I'm gonna talk about them in the weekend recap. You got Eubank versus Williams, which I think is an excellent fight. I will be buying that fight because that fight costs less than half what the Thurman fight costs. Here in America, if you want to see Eubank versus Williams, you go to Fight TV. It's about $30. It's a decent card. For my money, it's better than Thurman versus Barrios, because I don't know who's going to win Eubank versus Williams per se. It's a more even fight. And it's not, just a sack of shit fight full of guys coming off of L's that think they're supposed to get 7 figures every time they get out there. They have to know that all these pay-per-views will lower the sales interests of all pay-per-views. It's either very short-sighted or they have a master plan. Well, you know what Drew believes. Shout out to Drew. I'm pretty sure he'll be here shortly. What Drew believes is that Al Heyman is deliberately sabotaging the PBC to thereby file bankruptcy and abscond with whatever money he's taken without having to pay his debts. That's what Drew believes, and that's a very compelling theory. It is, because I half believe it as well. You can't possibly think, having been in the sport of boxing this amount of time, that these are the kind of fights that people want to pay to see. They don't want to pay to see fights like this. You can't possibly think that while Top Rank is putting together Joe Smith Jr. versus R2, it better be the unification match between two champions, Stevenson versus Valdez, two unbeaten, two division champions, not a pay-per-view. It's on regular ESPN. These are the kind of fights that your competitors are putting on, and they're not ganking the viewers by putting it behind a paywall. But here you are putting Thurman versus Barrios behind a paywall. How much sense does that make? It makes no sense. And they have to know that. So they're either doing it from a need, not a want, a need that, well, we have to give Fox 5 pay-per-views, 4 to 5 pay-per-views. That's part of our deal. And, given what these guys want to get paid, we're not, we ain't just going to give you 2, 3, 4 million. You got to go out there and hope that the fans give it to you, because we're not just going to give you that. You and your manager, the fighters and their managers, yeah, they want whatever the fuck they want, but they going to want a lot of shit. It ain't Christmas. The market value of the fight ultimately is what should dictate what the purses are. And come on, dog. Thurman versus Barrios, I feel silly even having that conversation. Yo, why is that on pay-per-view? Was goody at Paroqua, was goody actual, was goody BB, was goody Mark, was goody classical. And yeah, man, I'm not buying that fucking shit. I will be buying Eubank versus Williams, though. I'm going to buy that. Caroline Dubois is going to make a pro debut on that. Clarissa Shields is going to fight Emma Kozin. Liam Williams versus Chris Eubank. That's a good fight. I like that fight. Ideally, you shouldn't have to pay anything for that. I would have figured that because Sky Sports is Top Rank's U.S. broadcast partner, you would have figured that fights that are happening on Sky would also be happening here in America on ESPN+, but that doesn't appear to be the case. ESPN did not pick up that fight. I don't see why. You could have easily picked that up and, you throw them like $1 million or whatever it is, or a few $100,000 to show it here in America. I just don't see why they didn't pick it up. Sky picks up all the Top Rank cards, but ESPN doesn't pick up all the Sky Boxer cards. That's the way that breaks down. They did pick up Amir Khan versus Kell Brook, which I'm happy about. We're going to be able to see that on ESPN+, and I am looking forward to that. I honestly think it's still intriguing. And remember that for us here in America, that is an afternoon card. That's like an appetizer. That's the bread rolls before they bring you the steak. Feel me? That's a good card to watch. It ain't going to cost nothing. And it's in the afternoon, evening time, leading into the main cards, whatever main cards might be happening that day. I don't know if there are any happening that day right now, but still, it's something to watch in the afternoon. Liam was good. And yeah, man, and there's a lot of things going on. They mentioned in my last upload, Michael Benson mentioned, it was either Michael Benson or Mike Coppinger, one of them, that the WBA have ordered Robert Helenius versus Hughie Fury. I actually like that fight. I think that's a decent fight, especially for Hughie, who is kind of on an island. Though it's not the worst thing in the world for Hughie, because the truth is, okay, you're with Sky and Boxer, and, there's not too many big names over there for you to fight. There aren't. But at the same time, at this time, the world title picture is frozen with the same 4 guys. Nobody's fighting for a belt, a full belt, no time soon. Not Philippe Hergovich, not Joe Joyce, not Daniel Dubois. Nobody's fighting for a real belt, no time soon. I don't think that none of these contenders get to fight for a belt the whole of 2022. And that's not saying much, because when you think about it, yeah, those guys ain't going to get a shot this year. They may not. So if you're Hughie Fury, Robert Helenius is a familiar guy. He just fought on the undercard of Wilder versus Fury 3. He beat the fuck out of Adam Kovnowski. Not worse than the last time. It's just as bad. He beat the fuck out of him. He did beat the fuck out of him. And, that's a familiar face. He's been in there with a lot of guys. He's been in there with, John Duipa, Dillian Whyte, Adam Kovnowski 2 times. He's fought a lot of fucking people. And it's not a bad fight. But I don't know if it happens. I'm going to, when I open up the chat to the panel, I'm going to ask around how many people actually think that fight happens, because I kind of feel like the PBC, they might have their claws in that guy. I feel like if Wilder comes back, if he comes back, and I don't know if he's going to come back. It's very quiet right now. But I feel like if he comes back, that's a guy that he would look at, Robert Helenius. Another guy is Andy Ruiz. That's another guy he might look at. Wilder has not officially retired. And that's why I'm kind of like, if he had retired, then I'd say, yeah, Robert's got to get out there. And I don't really see, I don't know. Are they going to make an Andy Ruiz versus Robert Helenius fight? He's in a situation now where he's being ordered by the WBA. Appreciate that, Willie Lynch. Weakest heavyweight era, in my opinion. Now, I wouldn't go that far because, in this era, we got an Olympic bronze medalist in Filip Hergovich, a silver medalist in Joyce, a gold medalist in Tony Yoka. There were actually 3 gold medalists in this era not that long ago. Tony Yoka, Alexander Povetkin, and there still is Anthony Joshua. There's 2 gold medalists floating around right now. We had 2 bronze medalists, even though one of them didn't want to fucking fight shit, Wilder and Hergovich. I wouldn't say this is the weakest era. I wouldn't say. I mean, I've seen the division in worse states than this, and those were always transitional states between the old wave of guys and the next wave of guys, and I feel like that next wave of guys is here. The reason I kind of sympathize with what you're saying is because even though that wave of guys is here, it's a lot of careful, very calculated. Joseph Parker didn't want to fight Filip Hergovich, and it's like, well, bro, why not? Why not? You know what I mean? Like, he hasn't fought nobody. One, you fought Junior Fa, Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz, Dillian Whyte, Derek Chisora 2 times. You fought Huey Fury, but you're shivering in your boots over Filip Hergovich. Like, nobody really believes the shit that they say that, oh, that's too little money. Bro, get out of here. That's probably the same kind of money you made fighting Shondell Winters. That's probably the same kind of money you made fighting Alex Lapai. Keep it a beam, bro. Exactly. There's also Usyk. He's a gold medalist, even though, we know he's a cruiserweight and all of that, but he is a gold medalist. So I wouldn't call the era weak. I would say that it's a lot more careful because there's a lot of good fights that you could make. I'm just wondering, at what point do they start to happen? Because the whole year, all the belts is going to be frozen. The whole year. I'm saying that shit now. Whatever happens with Dillian and Fury, whatever happens with Joshua and Usyk, all of that shit is locked up there right now. So when do we see a Makhmudov versus, I don't know, a fucking Gassiev or some wild shit? Like, when does that type of shit start to happen? Like, right now, what I'm waiting for is Yoka versus Bakole, because now I really want to see that fight. Because it's like, yo, dog, he was trying to fight in an eliminator, and you fucked that up. Now we got to do this whole fucking thing to accommodate you when you knew damn good and well that COVID restrictions was the reason we did not fight. That's why we didn't fight, because France was locked down because of the COVID. So how you going to stop me from doing something when you fucking knew that? So what you want me to do now? Sit here and wait for you? I want Tony Yoka to beat the shit out of him, but we'll see. Listen, bro. Come to that shit. Listen, he hasn't signed the contract. If you go back to the relay video I did either a day ago or 2 days ago, I said that, like, yo, whether Fury pull out or Whyte pull out, I feel like this fight ain't gonna happen because somebody gonna pull out. And it ain't just the Fury shit. We talk about the Fury shit all the time, but Dillian might pull out too. And that's kind of why I went live. Like, I wanted to save that for tomorrow for an episode of the relay, but we could shoot the shit about it here real quick. That, listen, if he pull out, ain't really no defending that shit. You pull out now to fight who, bro? You done fought everybody. You fought Derek 2 times. You fought Joseph Parker. You fought Oscar Rivas. You fought Alexander Povetkin. You fought Robert Helenius. You already fought Anthony Joshua. You fucking fought damn near everybody, bro. The only dude you ain't fight is Tyson Fury. And I know that they ain't make it easy for you. We know that Wilder kept fucking with you, you know what I mean? Like, we know that he did not want to fight you. Like, anybody that don't blame Wilder for that shit, don't even fucking talk to me, bro. Because that dude fought Stavern 2 times, Luis Ortiz 2 times, Tyson Fury 3 times, ain't fight Dillian Whyte once. That shit is on purpose, bro. If he a crash test dummy, then go in there and knock his fucking ass out. Mark says, weakest, I'd say no. Most disappointing, I'd say yes. I don't know. Those are strong statements. Very strong. I can't say, see, when I think of the era, I think about the fights that happened and how many of them were fights that I felt were good fights and big fights. And I feel like this era has delivered. Like it has. In its own way, yeah, it has. We got some really good knockouts out of this era. And we got a lot of good fights out of this era. Joshua versus Klitschko was a good fight. It was a good fight. Joshua versus Povetkin was a good fight. Big upset with Andy Ruiz that shocked the world and brought attention to the division. He got the belts back, and then here comes Usyk. And that's just the AJ shit. Then look at the Fury shit. He comes back. He proves everybody that doubted him wrong. He beats fucking Wilder. A lot of people feel Fury won the first fight. He beat the fuck out of him the second fight and the third fight. Then you look at the Dillian Whyte sector. If a motherfuckers try to sit here and tell you that Dillian Whyte has not given this division good fights, like I said, don't fucking talk to me, bro. Don't talk to me. The Chisora fight was a good fight. Get the fuck out of here. The Oscar Rivas fight was a good fight. The Povetkin fight, even the one where he got knocked out, that was a good fight. And then he came back and beat the shit out of Povetkin. And that's just that crop of guys. In between there have been good fights. So I can't say that I'm disappointed. I can't say that I'm, or at least not, I can't say I'm completely disappointed. I can't say that. Appreciate that, Willie Lynch. Don't mean to sound like Debbie Downer. I focus on the negative too much to appreciate the insight and positive energy. Hey, I appreciate the super chat, bro. Shit. But that's how I tend to look at a division. Like, if you wanted to ask me about a division that disappoints me, it's welterweight. That is a division where I say that is probably the most disappointing welterweight division I've ever seen. It's the most disappointing. The most disappointing welterweight in all the different eras of welterweight that I've seen. This one is the one that's lacking the most. I also feel like lightweight is very disappointing right now. It is disappointing right now. I try to look at the good and look at the bad, but for me, lightweight, you got too many guys there that is supposed to be this and that. They supposed to be blue chip prospects and all these different things. But look at the shit, dog. Like I don't, and I haven't even gotten the chance to talk about the Lou DiBella, George Kambosos, Devin Haney shit. I'm like, yo, dog, Devin got to get down there. Like, you got to get down there, bro. Otherwise, leave the division in because you getting too big to be there. If you don't do this fight in a timely fashion, bro, who you gonna fight at lightweight? Who? The shit don't make sense. If it ain't about the George, to me, what Devin need to do, go down there, see about beating George, win them belts, and then leave 135. Because Devin is not a small lightweight. He young and he growing and all of that shit. You can't make that weight forever. Don't wait until it's too late. When it comes to shit like that, it's better to leave early than to wait until it's too late. You wait until it's too late, you're depleting yourself making that 135, and you motherfucking know it. And if it ain't about a George fight, Ryan not gonna fight you, bro. Javante not gonna fight you neither. And even if Loma is willing to fight you, which I have always maintained, I don't put that on Loma. I put that on Bob. Even if Loma's willing to fight you, Bob not gonna pay you the way you want to get paid because you've been making buku dollars at Matchroom. Bob is not gonna give you that, bro. He gonna look at the value of the show and say, nah, you ain't no $3-4 million fighter. You fucking wildin'. If you got this for Ramirez, what you gonna want me to give you for Loma? Then I'm gonna look at the value of the show, be like, yo, does this show generate that? Nah, you wildin'. It's a lot of shit that ain't gonna happen at lightweight. So I'm like, look, if you could get George in the ring, yeah, maybe you gotta go to Australia to do it, but he fucking beat Lopez. What other way is supposed to happen? If he beat Lopez, he don't get a say so. I dig it, Sean. Let me post the link for y'all. And like I said, I'm gonna keep the number of panelists down because it'd be too many guys trying to talk at the same time. That's what the audience keep telling me. Like, limit the panel to like maybe 5 or 6 guys. And yeah, man, it's like, yo, if you're not gonna fight George, then what you still doing there, bro? You know what I mean? Like, be real. You paying sanctioning fees for a belt that Ryan don't want to win from you. Ryan don't want to win that belt from you, bro. Javante don't want to win that belt from you, bro. I was goody J, was goody E, son. Yeah, man. I would say heavyweight is not as like whoever Mike is wild and fix your shit, man. I would say lightweight and welterweight disappoint me a lot more than heavyweight. I feel like we've gotten a lot of good fights out of heavyweight. Mark, do you agree with that?
Sorry, do I agree with which? Agree with what?
Which division would you say is in the saddest state out of those 3? Heavyweight, lightweight, or welterweight?
Oh, welter.
Welter, right?
Welter. Easy.
Yeah.
It's been in the saddest state kind of, welter's been in the saddest state kind of since like the last 6 years. Pretty much. For 6 years.
I can't. You know why I can't say 6? Because there was a time, and it wasn't that long ago, like not 6 years long. But remember, 4 years ago, we was excited. We didn't realize what the shit was going to turn into.
But you had those doubts, right? If we're being honest, we had those doubts about where it would go. And that kind of held on it. And whilst, people will be like, but Mark, we had Thurman and Danny and Thurman and John and Spence came in and he fought Brook and it went on. It was like, yeah, but the division was producing 2 fights per year.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was actually producing. Below that, you weren't getting people number 10 and number 8 fighting each other. The only time that kind of happened, and they weren't 10 versus 8 at the time, it turned Ugas into a top 10, was when Ugas and David Avanesyan fought. Other than that, we had nothing else. There was nothing going on. Not a damn thing.
I'll say, okay, I won't say 6 years, but I'll say it's definitely 4 to 5. And it is 4 to 5 because the Spence Crawford bullshit, that bullshit started about 4 years ago, roughly 4 years ago.
Same bullshit was happening between Thurman and Spence, though.
Yeah, but we still had the excitement of Terrence Crawford because once again, back then, we didn't really know how bad it was going to get. So we still had the excitement of Crawford potentially moving up and fighting Jeff Horn. And if he beats Horn, then we get the Spence fight. That was the thought process 4 years ago. 4 years ago, we didn't realize that, like, yo, this division is literally going to get worse every year. And look at where it's at now. Thurman versus Barrios on pay-per-view.
The reason I say 6 is because 6 years ago, they were laying the groundwork for 4 years ago. Just saying. That's just that's
no, that's a fair point because Thurman was 6 years ago. Keith Thurman would become aggravated whenever someone would bring up the name of Errol Spence Jr. I remember those interviews. He'd get aggravated over that shit. But I feel like this heavyweight division, and I for most of my boxing fandom lifetime, I was mostly a fan of heavyweights. Like when I was very young, most of the fights I watched were heavyweight fights. And I'll say that this era is not. No, it's not disappointing. It's not. We got some really good fucking fights out of this division when I think about it. Even if by some chance we don't get the undisputed fight, I still feel like this crop of heavyweights, they've had some really good fights, though. There have been some really good fights, not limited to title fights.
AJ's given us two of the greatest fights. AJ Klitschko is one of the biggest fights, and probably like, is that like the biggest heavyweight fight in recent years? Like in terms of probably, right?
No, of the last,
that was a good,
I'll
that was,
say.
like the only. No, you can go.
Go ahead, Issa.
I was saying, like the past, like what, 7-8 years, like the AJ Klitschko and probably like the AJ Usyk fights have been like, I think some of the best at heavyweight when you really look back at it. Like the Klitschko fight especially, that's a great fight.
I'll say the biggest fight, and you know, and I can already feel the bullshit. But the biggest fight the heavyweight division has had in the last 10 years that really was a global spectacle, and it reflected that in the numbers, the right numbers, I should say, not the fucking Musso report numbers of people that are stealing the fight, you know, people that are actually watching the fight through conventional means. The biggest fight of the last 10 years at heavyweight was Joshua versus Klitschko. It was, the numbers in Germany were ridiculous. The numbers in Germany was ridiculous. The numbers in the UK was ridiculous. Here stateside, I believe both Showtime and HBO, they paid for the rights to be able to show the fight here in America. How do you have two
even
premium?
had Wilder on commentary,
Bruh, how you got two premium cable networks that are competitors and they buying the same fight, the rights to the same? That shit was major, bro.
AJ's been the best thing to happen to heavyweight since Fury beat Klitschko.
He is, and that's why a part of me, just the sports fan in me, just wants the best man to win. Whoever the best man is, if it's Usyk, then let it be Usyk. That's the sports fan in me that's like, look, dog, I don't got a horse in the race, may the best man win. But the higher, you know, when you know how things are, and you know that, look, if AJ has those belts, not only do we get the fights that we want, but he brings money to the division.
He's been the most consistent for years. He'll continue to be. You know, if AJ wins, because the thing with, like, I know what you're saying. I get it. You, like, a part of you wants AJ to win for the stability to continue.
Yes.
Nobody wants Fury. Nobody wants Fury to. I mean, realistically, that's probably the worst thing that can happen. And you know, if Usyk wins, maybe he'll defend once or twice, but he's gonna fucking retire after that. Probably. I don't think he's gonna go on a long run.
I'm gonna tell you what, bro. He's a Capricorn, and I tell you right now that dude ain't gonna be around here waiting to become cannon fodder for any young bastard that want to challenge. Like, bro, do you realize this, right? Let's say Usyk beat AJ, and then let's say Usyk beat Fury, right? This is that world. In that world, Philippe Hergovich is in line, Joyce is in line, Daniel Dubois is in line, Tony Yoka gonna come for you sooner or later, Jared Anderson gonna come for you sooner or later. It's like, bro, it's rough seas out here. If that dude went, bro, he ain't gonna stay.
The worst thing that could happen to Usyk is that he stays for too long, and you know, he starts fading, and then somebody just catches him. Like, it's heavyweight, so it's possible. Maybe I wouldn't take some of these guys to beat him right now, but you don't know what could happen in 2 years. Like, you just gotta get caught.
I don't know, man. Joe Joyce gave him a fight before, man. I mean, a lot of people want to see that him and Joyce rematch.
And remember, and I'm glad Country brought that shit up, because I said that, look, when they fought in that semi-pro fight, that wasn't no motherfucking 10, 12 round fight. I think that shit was like 5 rounds.
It was 5.
It was like 5. What the fuck would happen in a 10 or 12 round fight? What would happen then? I need to know.
Right. But a lot of people want to know, man.
When do you guys think Usyk will start slipping? Because he's like 35 now. You think how much more do you think he'll have in the tank for a while?
Well, with his style, he could start slipping any day. He could.
That's why I ask. You know, because
and he's facing a bunch of big guys too. So all it takes is somebody with some decent footwork and aggression that will stay on him, and you never know what could happen. Hold
on, one at a time. The shit is this, though. The shit is this, that even when he starts slipping, he's still going to be faster than a lot of these guys. So that buys him a little bit more time, because so many of these guys are slow, man. Like, that's in general, they just slow. So he's always going to...
Don't forget, like, we can already say Usyk's already been slipping, because before the AJ fight, the main consensus of argument, not just that he was too small, was that he's a lot slower now than he was at cruiser. People were saying that he's a lot slower, and it wasn't just one or two people; it was a lot of people We're seeing he's a lot slower. Like against Chisora, they thought he was a declining fighter in terms of speed.
Well, I'll say this. I think that has more to do. Hindsight is 2020. I think that has more to do with Chisora and less to do with Usyk looking back, because he's a tough motherfucker, man. Derek, like he's a tough motherfucker, and for
especially when
dude,
you're a cruiser moving up.
that's what I mean. And like, yo, dog, you got this big old
That
man
was-
chasing you, throwing these big ass hooks. Like, yeah, that's gonna make you look bad, though.
When you have a guy going under and over on a swivel jab, switching stances, and he's 250 pounds, and he's so compact and he's rushing all your work. That's hard to deal with. And yeah, he was dipping down to he was going below the belt like hundreds of times now.
That was probably
let me ask you guys this.
stylistically the worst style matchup. Maybe the worst style matchup Usyk could have had at heavyweight. When you really look back
let me ask you guys this question: if Usyk happens to capture all the belts, how long do you give it before he just says, oh, "I'm done. I'm retiring"?
I think
probably
he
one fight, if not.
Bro, I honestly believe if it's me, if I were in his shoes and I had did that, I'm done. That's it. I'm done. I can't be here.
Great.
I'm not and I think he's that kind of guy. I honestly believe he's that kind of guy that I'm not waiting for y'all to let me know when I should retire. I already know what I'm doing because I have a plan already. I came into this with a plan and I'm sticking to that. I'm not worried about who want me to fight Joe Blow and who the fuck and what the nah. If I became an undisputed, bro, if I become an undisputed champion at cruiserweight in a couple of fights fighting in everybody else's backyard, right? Literally, right? That's ridiculous, right? And he don't get enough credit for that.
You don't.
And and let's say you do the same fucking thing at heavyweight, bro. What the fuck am I going to stick around for?
Right? There's no motivation.
This is no reason. Let me read the super chats real quick. Liam Rockwell says 160 is catching up to 147 in terms of disappointments. I firmly believe that. I agree with that. Tony Boswell, shout out to Tony Boswell. Ring IQ and panel stopped in to show some support. Hit the like button. Appreciate you, Tony. Always a pleasure. And yeah, man, 160 fucking sucks, bro. Like 160 is just, oh my god.
It's almost as bad. It's probably just as bad as welterweight, if not worse.
Let's not even talk about featherweight. Let's not even talk about that.
Featherweight is no. Wait. The Mauricio Lara beating of Josh Warrington, electrifying. Kiko Martinez, no, because those were good. No, but those were shocking moments that, like, yo, you kind of just didn't expect that. I did not expect Kid Galahad to get put on his back pocket like
that. That sparked life back into those ones sparked life back into the division. I'd say. Would you guys agree?
Look, but then when you breathe the life in, they suck it right out by giving the dude who got knocked out and then fucking lost, headbutt and quit just to give him the main event. Like, they suck it right out of there. You have two champions. Well, one's no longer a champion. One who fought like 3 times in 5 years, and the other fella who hasn't even defended the belt in 3 years. Like, you can bring up the goods, but there's also really big negatives on that division.
There are, but they pale in comparison to a division that is populated by at least 2 fighters who didn't fight at 154, and they're not fighting now at 160. One champion, quote unquote, one fighter who became a champion while inactive. He's been gone for 2 years. The biggest name in the division, right now, he hasn't fought in 1 year. 160 is just 160 is the only division I think is worse than welterweight. It's the only one that's worse.
Yeah.
Ryota Murata hasn't fought in 2 years, but he's a superstar in his country. He is, but he hasn't fought in 2 years. The biggest name here in America in terms of middleweights is Gennady Golovkin. It is him, and he hasn't fought in a year. Forget about Jermall Charlo. He fought once last year against a fucking nobody.
Yeah, but Triple G is what, almost 40? I mean,
the fact that Charlo and Triple G are on the same schedule is ridiculous when you think about it. I mean, they both should be more active, but the fact that Charlo is just as active as him is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Triple G is 2 fights away from retirement, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
He's done.
He's about done, man. I mean,
I think he's going to milk that his own contract, and when he's done with it.
But it's because he got a belt, country. That's what make it. If he was just there like on some Maravilla, Sergio Martinez shit, I wouldn't say nothing like, bro, go ahead, just fight your fights, bro. I ain't even mad at you. But you got a belt, bro. You have a belt. And defend it, bro. Like, and fucking IBF. Like, I don't know, man. I don't. That division is awful, bro. Awful division.
And by the way, Jules, a quick question about that Hellenius Fury situation. Is that was that an eliminator of some sort or something?
It's an eliminator, but it's not a final eliminator. Like, most people don't realize it's a lot of eliminators just like that one. It's just basically moving you up the ranks. That's all it is. But it's not a final eliminator. It's not a final eliminator.
That's what I figured. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. So,
and it's a shit. It's a fucking shit. It's a decent fight. Yeah, I'm fucking fantastic. I just fucking wrong pipe. But
he's got Rona.
I got jabbed. I don't got shit. It's a decent fight.
That's how that works, Jay.
Bruh, I'm good. It's a decent fight though. It's a decent fight. Like, I like Hellenius versus Fury. I don't know if it happens because a part of me feel like, yo, they probably got Hellenius on standby for either Wilder or Ruiz. Them two dudes got to fight. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe we get Ruiz versus Ortiz. But if we get Ruiz versus Ortiz, that means we don't get Wilder versus Ruiz. So maybe Wilder fights Hellenius, or Wilder don't come back, and then we get Hellenius versus Fury. I don't know. I don't know.
What do you think about Jared Anderson versus Joe Joyce?
Bruh, that shit ain't gonna happen.
I ain't gonna talk about that. That's not gonna happen.
That shit ain't gonna happen.
Good fight,
bro.
but man.
Well, it's a great fight, but I don't think Jared. Everybody know I'm high on Jared. Now it's not the time for a fight like that anyway. And just thinking about the fight, it's like, bruh, Joe fought a former champion in Stavern, a world title challenger in Brant Jennings, a blue chip prospect, or what was supposed to be a blue chip prospect in Daniel Dubois. So it's like, he's solid.
It could have been the gold medalist that they're looking into the match fixing situation.
They are.
He won silver at the very least. He has a huge portfolio of experience in the amateurs and the semi-pros, fighting against like guys like Usyk and shit. I mean, Joe Joyce, like, don't match prospects wrong like that. He to be fair, like, he's a full-blown contender at this stage. And
he is.
We seen what happened last time. Poor Daniel got his eye shattered. Like, you need some experience to deal with a dude like that, man. That's a big ass dude, and he can fight. Like, it's a big dude who can fight with a mad jab and good timing on his feet. And he's so difficult because he's so slow when he lands everything.
But he can take a shot.
You know what's funny? Philip Hergovich commented. He said he looks slow, but fighting him is different. It's not like when you get in the ring with him. It's like it's like he finds a way to get to you, even though he's slow.
No, and he has a lot of fucking eyelashes, bro. That throws people off. They don't know if his eyes are closed because his eyes got
shit, bro.
Look at Joe Joyce. Look at him, bro. That dude got waves, bro.
That came out of nowhere.
Listen, dog, I've been saying that shit. He got too many eyelashes, man.
Hey, fellas, right quick. What y'all think of Jamal Charlo? What y'all think of Jamal Charlo being cleared of the charges? Y'all heard about that?
No, I heard about that bullshit. I mean, I know, but we said it here on the live. I said it. They're gonna find a way to make that go away. They're gonna find a way. Anybody, like, what's the most they would have hit him with? Petty larceny? Like, come on now. Like, ain't nobody trying to be in court over that shit. It's the Gervonta Davis shit that's really interesting because that's a lot more serious. Like, bro, you was drunk, you crashed into some people, they did get hurt, and you fled the scene. I'm wondering, can they make that go away? I don't know. That shit is some shit. Like, that's some shit. That ain't like Broner touching some girl ass at the mall, bro. You crashed into some people and they got hurt. They got put in the hospital.
Next month is going to trial, so we'll see.
We'll see, man. That shit hanging over his head. And hey, we'll see, man. I don't know. Maybe he get a year. I don't know. Like, I literally don't know what they're gonna do with that. I don't know what's gonna happen. WMMA says Fury just praised Khabib on Twitter today for retiring early and on top. He basically laid out his own plan. He's not about being a fighter. Well, yeah, I mean, bro, everybody know he's trying to make
that ain't news. That ain't news.
Yeah,
he did it before. He's already done it once. He's gonna do it twice.
Yeah, like, I can't and Mark is better at this than I am, but I just can't think of him in that Larry Holmes and Joe Louis, because those guys didn't just win titles.
Absolutely.
Those guys,
God.
those guys didn't just win titles and then got the fuck out of Dodge, bro. Like, are you serious?
They made
They
dozens
defended.
of defenses.
And when you
Love
caught, and what never gets said, which I don't like to say it because it sounds like I'm diminishing his victory, but he says it about AJ, so it kind of opens the door to say it. That, bro, you caught Vladimir at the most opportune time, bro. You caught him. You caught him.
Him.
Yeah, you caught him at the tail end. Like, for you telling
He
me,
knew.
you telling me about how AJ fought Povetkin, who was close to 40. Brody, when you fought Vlad, he was close to 40. What are you talking about?
And let's not even bring up the fact, like, people always leave this out, but before the Hammer fight and everything, Tyson Fury was offered other fights way before the Hammer fight, like a fight with Povetkin, which would have been for the WBA championship. Like, let's not even bring that up. Like, the regular title. He was offered that fight and he declined it. He declined fights with Pulev. He declined the fight with Hellenius years ago. Like, I'm not gonna sit around here.
Hey,
Like, people only talk about the shit now, the last 3-4 years, but like, don't forget, like, this man fucking pulled out numerous fights on the come up. Numerous fights. And by the way, he was offered the David Price fight. People don't bring this up enough. He ended up saying that I'm not going to fight you, and it was okay because 5 months later he agreed to fight David Hay. It was okay then. That's when people accepted it. But for that 4-month, 5-month period, people were not happy about that.
Yeah, Fury's an opportunist.
He's lucky he didn't have to fight for Tally, man. He'd have been in more trouble.
Jesus.
Willie Lynch says, much love to the panel and the Undisputed Best Boxing channel. Catch you on the replay. Appreciate that, Willie. Yeah, like, and just when it comes to the whole Fury versus Whyte situation, a lot of people are identifying Dillian Whyte's uncharacteristic silence as a flag that he may pull out. I feel like, yes, there's a chance he pulls out, but he's waiting out the situation with the arbitrator. You know, we talked about that here on the channel the last, I think, 3 days, that, he might pull out, but if he's quiet right now, it's because of the legal situation, and he's waiting to see if he can get a better split, because if he can get a better split, Frank's in the hole a lot of fucking money. Frank's in the hole a lot of money, and I don't really get the sense that Dillian Whyte is a hard luck case, man. Like, he's a hard luck case. Like, bro, I don't think nothing gonna come out of that shit. What do you think?
He's a stubborn, persistent motherfucker, man. He really is.
I just don't understand why he thinks after all these years they're gonna do him a favor. Like, bro, if you think you can win, take the fight. You gotta do it.
No. Well, this is the thing. Right? There's an arbitrator involved, so it's not just the WBC and whatever the WBC says. The arbitrator is there to, mediate and make a decision, hear the case and make a decision. And that's a little different than relying on the WBC to do you a favor. It's just that he's had shit luck this whole time. And I'm like, what, is it about to change? Is it?
Nah, let me see. What I think he needs to do is, like, if the arbitrator does not rule in his favor and the split stays the way it is, just take the fight, man.
Just take the fight.
I mean, just bite the bullet, take the fight. And if you win, and do your best to win it. If you win, you get more money anyway.
8 million
based on the ruling, right? So yeah,
take it.
It's £6 million. We'll talk about it in his money because it's his. He's not going to be looking at that as $8 million. He don't do dollars. He does pounds. It's £6.1 million.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a career high payday. That's the first part. But he has no plus side, right? And Dillian Whyte, as Eddie Hearn has said numerous times, like, he's owning his own shows. He owns his own shows, so he does make a lot of money on the back end that we wouldn't know the final numbers on. That shit's not going to get released. He ain't going to release that shit to us. We don't know what it is, but we know that he's making money as the owner of those shows. And on this one, it's a flat fee. Like, we could be saying, all right, yeah, he released $300K for the course on the Povetkin fight, but he could have made $6 million for the Povetkin fight. He could have made $4 million, $3 million, $1 million. We don't know.
No, and Mark, the number that's out there is 4 for both of those fights, which I believe, by the way.
Yep.
Which I like. And I just hate how these situations get turn into just fanboy. Like, bro, you really believe that this dude fought Alexander Povetkin, who knocked him out for $300,000? Like, are you slow? Do you think he would fight him again after being knocked out by him for $300,000?
Well, Julius, one of the main people who's been pushing that same thing is also like trying to tell us that BoxRec are above UCAD in terms of anti-doping.
Who the hell said that?
Gotta be. Yeah, BoxRec is the source for anti-doping in the UK, not the UK anti-doping agency. Shout out.
Hey, Jules. Luis Torres was asking you what you thought about the rumor of Teofimo training with Reynoso.
I think good
It's
style. Hold on, good style fit. If he is, I don't know if he is. If he is, good fit for his style because he has a counter-punching style. Most people tend to forget. So did Canelo very early. Well, not very early, but you know, when he was a 54 guy, he was a counter-puncher.
Still is.
Yeah, technically he is, but you know, he's like a pressure guy now. Like he is a counter guy, but he forces you to counter him by pressuring you. Frankie Sanchez is a counter puncher. Andy Ruiz is a counter puncher. The shot that Oscar Valdez damn near killed Burchelt with, it was a counter shot. So I think that's a good style fit if it's true. I just don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's true.
That's interesting. I'd like to see that, to be honest.
If he's there, like, and Jay can even, I think this has been mentioned, when people ever bring up Reynoso, most of the time I go, no, there's better guys there. Like, not in terms of better trainers, but better for the style. Reynoso probably would be the best style if he's not going to go with Joey Gamache. He should be with Joey Gamache. I'm just saying, that's what worked. It is what worked. And they got him out of there, and we see how bad that job.
But didn't he leave Joey Gamache because the Camboso situation drug out for so long?
That wasn't Joey Gamache's fault.
No. I mean, in other words, that I remember reading. It was a long article, man, and they were talking about how he got rid of his nutritionist and all this different stuff because the situation was dragging on, and I think he only had like 20,000. They said some sob story like, "Oh, he only had $20,000 to." Bro, you fought Lomachenko. What the fuck did you do with the money?
His dad took it.
Gotta be. You fought Lomachenko.
That's what I think.
Bro, you fought Lomachenko. Listen, bro. I'm still sitting on thousands of dollars from months ago. I'm like, bro, you won $1 million at least, right?
Right.
So how the fuck did you go through all of that? What did you do? We in a pandemic. It ain't like you could party like you really, really want to party. Like, no, we in a pandemic, bro.
Well, Jay, we won't go too deep into it, but you know probably the same stuff I do. And I'm not going to say his dad like other people are. I'm going to say, women are expensive.
All right. I was going to say, because
the Achilles heel of men. Yes.
Oh boy.
You know what? You right, Mark. Because I was thinking like, what did his fucking dad sniff it? And then I'm like, nah. If he sniffed that much, he'd be dead. That much money, he's dead, bro. Like,
yeah, and he don't have that like Leonard Ellerby 8-ball nose, bro. He's got like a pool ball.
Bro, like if his like you can't sniff that much, bro. If you sniff that much, you either gonna be dead or you gonna float away into the cosmos. And I saw him; he was with his dad the other day. So, nah, he ain't sniff all that. That's the missus that divorced him.
He gonna be flying like Cheech and Chong in there.
Divorce is really expensive, fellas. Is that Seamus?
Remember when they did the space coke and they were flying in the air?
Did any boxer ever get fucked harder than Shane Mosley did via divorce?
Nah, bro. He got fucked.
He got wrecked. Holy fuck. That was horrible.
I want to ask the panel, though. Y'all know, I'm pretty sure y'all know by now that the Joe Joyce people have reached out to the Parker people. They want to see a fight. And for those that don't know, Joseph Parker and Joe Joyce, that's number 2 and number 1 in the WBO. What I'm going to ask is, do you feel the fight is going to happen? Mark, Does that fight happen?
No.
Not right.
No. Joe Parker, this is, would probably want more money than the Joyce people will probably end up offering, because there's not a lot of money in Team Joyce, unfortunately. It's an exceptionally risky fighter who his biggest risk since even fighting for Joshua was in Chisora. So, like, and that's no shame to Chisora, but we're talking like Chisora's gatekeeper, Joyce contender, Joyce a very different type of guy, bigger, stronger. Like, this is the you're not gonna knock out Joe Joyce. Like, you can just fucking move that off. Like, and you're not, and you can't rely, huh?
Not Joseph Parker.
Nope.
No, he ain't gonna knock. Joseph Parker ain't gonna knock out no Joe. I just don't see Joseph Parker agreeing to that as much as I would love to see it. Because that, if anybody, like, Joseph Parker can be boring, but with the way Joe Joyce fights, nah, bro, that's not gonna be boring. That's gonna be
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
because Parker's gonna have to throw in 4s and 5s to just get away from that field.
Listen, bro, I'm going to say this. And I'm going to say it, and I don't
juggernaut,
don't I'm gonna say it. Country, I know you don't want to hear this, but Joe Joyce will knock out Joseph Parker.
Oh no, I'm cool with that.
I was just saying that to be dramatic, but
Okay.
Jay, in future, just use me for the drama, because I won't say. I'll be like, no, don't. I'll do that. Don't worry.
All right. Well, listen, Mark. Look, I know and I understand. You know, I sympathize. I get it. Yo, I love that sound. I don't know whose phone does that, but I love that sound.
Oh, that's mine, man. I'm sorry.
No. I know. I'm not even. I love it. Always happens at the right time for some reason. It literally, if you play it back and it's always at the right time.
You know what the funny part is? It's totally random when it happens.
Like, Mark, I know you don't want to hear this segue.
I know, Mark. I sympathize, bro, but Joe would knock him the fuck out, bro. He'll knock his ass out, though.
No.
Yes, yo.
Hey, may I please give my take, sirs?
Go ahead.
I really like the fight. I really do. When it was announced, thought it was very, very intriguing. And honestly, I was thinking like, I was saying like, oh yeah, Joseph Parker beat Joe Joyce, but I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. No, I don't think he will, because like he couldn't even knock out Chisora twice in 2 fights. So he's gonna knock out Joe Joyce. Nah. I mean, but the fight doesn't happen. And I'm just curious, like also like another question, like let's just say if the fight were to happen, what would they even bill it as? Would it be like some kind of eliminator or something like that? Or...
It could be a WBO final eliminator, because they're both number 1 and number 2 in the WBO.
I think it would actually be for the WBO interim. The reason I think it would be for the interim title is because Joyce is actually the mandatory.
I think Joyce takes a way better shot than Del Boy does.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Than Del Boy does now, yes.
Yeah. But let's also say this. Joe don't got the killer, Joe Parker. He don't got the killer in him for no fucking Joe Joyce that's not going to go away and he going to keep trying to punch it. Bro, you got to have some kind of killer. Like, you got to try. And you literally let Derek Chisora walk to the corner and post himself up and wait for you to... You let him do that.
3 times.
It's wild out here. It is wild out here. Like, you gonna let him do that?
And then you just stopped fighting after the 9th round.
You can't do that shit with Joe Joyce, bro.
You you just stop fighting after 9 rounds against Joe Joyce. He's gonna put you in. He'll punch you into Frank Warren's lap,
bro.
You know what? It's a good thing he didn't take the Hergovich. Hergovich probably would have fucked him up.
I had Hergovich. My prediction for that fight. I didn't say it because there was no fight, but my thought was Hergovich will stop him. He'll be the first one to stop Joseph Parker.
My thing is, like, I'm gonna hold the phone on like a top 10 heavyweight versus Hergovich, just because like at the same point, whilst he's been ducked massively My thing is that he hasn't gotten any better from on my own eye test, and he's looking like a lot more out of shape. Like he hasn't had anything to improve on, and I think he's even regressed. I do believe, and people will hate hearing it. I do believe that the Hergovich who was fighting in the Olympics would beat this guy right now. This Hergovich.
Let me say this. Every time Hergovich gets ducked, he loses a skill and he gains 10 pounds. So by the time this year is over, bro, this dude is going to be morbidly obese. Not going to know how to throw a jab. You know what I mean? It's fucked up because we watch.
I think Hergovich should fight Jerry Forrest. Like if he can't get any, no. Let me explain why. If he can't get anybody, he should fight him because one, the dude is tough. He'll give you rounds. He can hit. He can crack. And the main reason I say Jerry Forrest is because I don't want to have this idea that whilst everyone's ducked Hergovich was meant to fight Jerry Forrest. COVID hit, and then he said after COVID I'll fight him, and he hasn't. So right now I'm labeling that a duck from fucking Hergovich.
Yeah,
so he need to get his ass in there with the King Forrest.
I don't look at you.
King Forrest.
Hold on. You looking at it the wrong way. At that time when that fight was supposed to go down, I believe Michael Hunter had a W over Jerry Forrest. And, you put the Forrest fight to the side because we thought, we're going to get Michael Hunter versus Filip Hergovich. And that ended up being Michael Hunter ducking Filip Hergovich. So I didn't think about it that way. And I still don't think about it that way now. I'm like, yo, dog, he shouldn't. You know what? For Jerry fucking Forrest, fight Zhilei Zhang. Fuck it. Take his O. Take his O. Take that shit. Fuck it.
Nah, because Jerry Forrest right now is Zhilei Zhang and Michael Hunter's daddy. Hergovich, when Hunter ducked him, listen, I'm gonna say this: when Hunter ducked Hergovich should have got in there with Forrest at that exact moment. That's when he should have gone in there with him. Because if he had done that, at least right now, you wouldn't have had Zhilei Zhang going life and death and Michael Hunter getting whooped up. So Hergovich would have been able to save them to that embarrassment. Now he needs to do it before somebody else gets hurt, man. This is a serial killer on the loose. The detective Hergovich needs to get into the ring to stop this man going crazy.
Now I got a question. Mark, you don't see Joe Joyce versus Joseph Parker materializing, right?
No.
If it doesn't, what the fuck is Joseph Parker gonna do?
I think Joseph Parker's gonna fight Erkin Tepper.
Bro,
he fits the Alex Leopold mold. Had one fight in 3 years.
Bro, who's gonna pay for that fight, bro? Matchroom is not gonna make no fight like that, bro. They like, bro, Joseph.
Probellum.
You think he'll go to Probellum? You know what? You might be onto something. They got that
MTK.
No. You're right. And they just right now, Probellum is in a place where they're just getting their feet wet, and they just want to do a couple of cards at a time in the United Kingdom. So if maybe they say, hey Joe, we got $500,000 for you right here. Fight Erkin Tepper. It gets done. Look at the like Sonny Edwards. He's about to have a fight there. Decent guy. It's 2 cards happening there in March. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, they're in a place where they've done their maiden voyage card, and now they just want to get talent. I don't know if Joseph Parker is a free agent or if he's about to be a free agent, but that's a valid point that he could end up going over there. I don't see why not. He doesn't have no quality control. He ain't got no standards. He's not really trying to fight for no belt.
Yeah, Michael Hunter, man, what a disappointment that guy is, huh?
Oh, God, man.
Shit. I had high hopes for Michael Hunter, but it is what it is, man. When you got too many motherfuckers agreeing with you and shit, that's when shit like that happens. Like, bro, who told you it was a good idea to jump into bed with these people? You don't see they got motherfuckers fist fighting in a pizza slice? It's literally shaped like a pizza slice.
That's what's next. That's what's next. You're gonna be doing that. How much you want to bet?
Bro, Pulev is fighting in a slice of pizza in his next fight. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get this shit pepperoni. Well out here.
Watch, y'all. That's what's next for Hunter. That's what's next. They're gonna put him in one of them shits.
How much well, as bad as he was in the ring, I mean, he looked like he ate a couple pizzas before the fight.
Bro, he did though. He looked bad.
Yeah, he looked
Bro,
out of
oh
shape.
God, he
No
looked
wonder
horrible.
Jerry Coffey beat him, man. How humiliating. Jeez.
He probably, you know what they probably told him, you're gonna fight in a ring shaped like a pizza slice, and he probably thought, let me eat some pizza slices because that's what they told me.
He got excited.
Bro,
What kind of pizza you think you had? The Domino's, Mountain Mike's?
you know, I like Padrino's pizza. Padrino's pizza is good. It's a place around here. It's a good place.
I gotta give me a slice, man. I'm getting hungry.
But yo, man, listen, man, I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the Trigon. I wouldn't be surprised. He'd be in there in that pizza slice, fainting and shit. What's the MMA moves they let you do in there? Because I heard they let you do MMA moves in the.
I don't know, bro. I don't
I'm
know.
not sure, man.
Spinning back fists. Yeah. Bro, his career to me is over, to be honest.
Could you imagine Pulev hit someone with a spinning back fist?
Bro, could you imagine what that's gonna look like?
It's gonna look like somebody getting knocked out there. That'll take heads off. And
No,
not fucking
I mean,
legs.
listen, but see, I feel like who was that guy knocked out? Was that Frank Mir that he knocked
Yeah.
out?
It was.
Yeah.
Bro, the way I've seldom seen this. Yeah, we old. We all played Street Fighter 2. And it's just like when you beat the shit and he's motherfucker was really doing that.
Jay has made this reference 4 times on this
He
channel.
looked like a zombie from Scooby
Because
Doo.
you know, bro, when have you ever seen a guy get hit hard, guy goes down. This dude really stood there waiting and looking at him like,
He was in slow motion.
Yeah, Frank Mir was looking like Terry Harper, bro.
bro.
Well, hey, at least Pulev stopped him. Steve Cunningham couldn't.
That's true though.
No, actually, I'll be honest. That's because I think Steve Cunningham's a very, very nice guy. Because Steve Cunningham he's not a nice guy, but in that fight, for some reason, he was a nice guy. Just like David Hay was nice against a billionaire who might not be a billionaire, who's allegedly a billionaire. All Cunningham did was jab, move away, and just like make him miss and literally tap him. That's all he did. All he did was box. Whereas Pulev goes in there and goes, "Wah!"
That's true. That's true. Like, I think, now that I think about it, Steve Cunningham probably looked at the situation as, look, this guy's not a boxer. I'm not going to just go in here and beat the holy fuck out of him. But Pulev from Bulgaria, he got a lot of hair on his knuckles and barely no hair on his head. The girl he had with the big-ass chest with the titties, he not with her no more because of the sushi girl. He made out with the sushi girl.
Didn't she get back with him, though?
I don't know. He doesn't have as much hair as he used to have, bro. You got to think about that.
Girl, that's funny, man.
I don't even, the funny shit is, I'm like, why you made out that bitch face look like a foot? The fuck? Dude, look at
I said this years ago, Jay. I had people being like, "Oh, don't tell me you wouldn't." I'm like, "I wouldn't, though.
I wouldn't, though.
That's one ugly broad. That's
Listen,
one ugly broad."
Let me say this. She got one thing, right? She got one thing, that the sushi broad, and she got big titties. But I'm not a titty
Fake
guy,
titties.
though. No,
big fake titties.
And it's all right. Look, it's all right. I appreciate the effort. But I'm not a titty guy. Like, I'm not a titty guy. Like, you got big titty. You got a big ass? No? All right, we're gonna have to renegotiate.
Moving on.
I think she has thick thighs, though, don't she, Jay?
No, she had little legs. That's why I didn't find her.
Are you sure she doesn't have? I'm pretty sure she has thick thighs.
Oh, look, I seen the video and I tried to see what is the appeal, and I don't remember seeing. If they were big, I would have remembered, bro. I don't remember a lot of shit, but I remember that, and it was like, why would you? Her face looked like a Dr. Scholl's insole. Like, why would you?
This dude in the chat said Frank Mir looked like a Mortal Kombat character waiting to get a fatality.
He did, though.
That's funny, man.
That's some cartoon ass shit. Like, really? Like, you're not gonna fall down?
Y'all know what? If Jamel fight Canelo, that's how Jamel gonna be when Canelo land the hook. He gonna be like,
Bro, I really hope he just picks. I really hope he just picks Jamal, because it's like it's so tired. Like, every time I go on Twitter, I either see guys saying, "Oh, why he want to fight Jamal?" Like, bro, you wanted him to fight you. Y'all weren't you just
all day comparing him to Triple G?
Canelo was ducking him.
Yeah, like
what?
so that when he about to pick him, you could start getting scared and nervous.
That's oh my god.
Bro.
It's like
That's how you know they don't really want to fight. They just want to talk
Right.
shit.
Right.
Yeah, but like, how you gonna want to talk shit that bad that you get up every morning and log into Twitter or be on Twitter? It's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I can't like I said, I can't imagine, bro. I can't imagine.
that's why I wanted. That's why I wanted to fight Jamal next. So that's why I wanted to get the fight.
Yeah, like let's just get it over with, bro. Like the fuck, like just do the fight
I'll get my tickets. I'll go to see it in the front row. I'll take photos. And it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great, glorious event.
like I don't understand that shit. Like yo,
shit. Hey, yo, Mark, it blew up. Mark, Mark got the.
Hold on, let me see, bro. Oh my god,
Oh,
bro, that bitch is wow, ugly, B. And I don't like being that guy that like says negative things and things like that. But I'm like, yo, bro, nah, bro,
Down a crucifix right now.
It
bro,
looked like somebody bashed her in the face with a bag of nickels or something.
bro. She looked like a hard-boiled egg, bro. Chill. Yeah, yo, I don't understand. Like,
Dude looked like
I don't.
a lady.
She looked like
Bro, that dude look like Aerosmith though. Like, I don't want to close your eyes. I don't want to fall asleep because it's too left, baby, and I don't want to pull left.
Isn't it? She looked like an Asian Green Goblin.
Yo, motherfucker said she looked like Mickey Rourke.
She looks like she's sponsored by Metamucil.
Oh shit! Yo, she do look like
God bless.
Mickey Rourke, B.
God bless Boykin, bro.
This was the chick
Mickey
they pulled
Rourke,
a
you
kiss.
mean when he was in The Wrestler?
Yo, B. Yo, B, that shit is crazy. Like, oh my god, dog. That looked like Steven Tyler, B. Like, it really do, though. Don't want to fall asleep because I miss you, baby.
Especially when he gets like really close up to the camera and his nails are all long and shit.
Word, like Steven Tyler looked like if Dirty Laundry was a person.
You know,
It was like a real person.
Jay, Steven Toiler, older Steven Toiler, younger Steven Toiler, older Steven Toiler.
Older Steven. He looked like a pile of laundry.
He do, but younger Steven Toiler looked like Johnny Depp before Johnny Depp.
Do you mean Johnny Depp trying to look like Steven Tyler?
Kind of like right. So Steven Toiler now looks like Johnny Depp trying to look like Captain Jack Sparrow after the Amber Heard situation, but young Steven Toiler looks like Johnny Depp looking like a prime Jack Sparrow in The Course of the Black Pearl.
No, Steven Tyler looks like Johnny Depp after he died and you dug him up and filled him full of like embalming fluid or something like that motherfucker.
Whoa.
That bro, that motherfucker look like I don't know what. Like, is he alive? Like,
yes, he is alive.
No, I know he's alive. I'm looking at him. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker, like, shit, man. Just I don't know, sniff more coke. I don't know, man. Do something.
Since we're on the subject and we're making Steven Tyler comparisons, the photo that Mark showed me reminded me of a joke. One dude was talking about like she looks like Steven Tyler if he fucked the life raft.
Joe,
I'm gonna mute for a second.
Oh,
so that light heavyweight fight that's being talked about, yo.
That was vicious, bro.
Yeah, man. Light heavyweight, we got Joe Smith. And
she kind of looked like Steven Tyler if he was in that movie Wrong Turn.
Let me champ the shit real quick. Because I saw a lot of people reacting to it, and this is the thing. We all know Joe wants 1.8, and I hope they can get it to him so they could do the fight. But it's like you don't just acquiesce to demands like that, because if the guy that only has one belt wants 1.8, what's the guy that has two belts gonna want? Because you're creating a situation. They're like, oh, hold up, so he's getting 1.8. Oh, well, I want 2.5. I got more belts than him. I fucking fought Vosdick. I just fought Brown. Like, the fuck? I got two belts. How he get 1.8 and I'm getting whatever he getting, feel me? So it's that kind of situation. And like I said, I hope that maybe they can get him the money and it won't be no issues, no problems. But I see a couple of tweets on Twitter where it's like, oh, he deserves. Bro, it ain't no motherfucking deserve, bro. because the value of the show is the value of the show. That point blank period. The value of the show, where you price the fight at, that's what determines what the fuck motherfuckers got to get. Because I know none of y'all is in a business of giving money away. So why do you expect everybody else to do that?
That ain't about to be no stadium fight, I
Hey,
don't think.
dude
So,
just said he figured it out. He said she looks like Gak-Wan.
Do you guys know Gakwan?
I don't know Gakwan B.
So
Nope, it sounds
Gakwan is in
funny,
UK. He's this gay Asian dude, and what he does is he wears these like gay. He wears those really thick frame glasses, and he does this show for really fat, ugly women called "How to Look Good Naked," where he tries to help up their confidence, and then they come out naked, but like they're kind of, like we don't see them naked properly, and he's looking at them, this gay guy, and he's like, "Darling, you look beautiful." That's what Gakwan is.
Sounds
What the fuck?
Somebody
Let-
said
let-
don't do
Let me read the super chat. I want Canelo to fight Jamal to shut up the haters after he whips Jamal. Now all the haters want to call it a cherry pick. See, this is the thing, you know, and you know what I'm about to say. If he goes in there with Jamal and he knocks out Jamal, all that same bitch ass energy they poured into Jamal, they're gonna pour it into David Benavidez. It never ends.
No, it's not. I mean, with Canelo, it's never going to stop. I mean,
It's
no matter
never gonna
what.
stop.
Let's just say he goes out there and you know up to 175 and clean and knocks out Better Beaver Bebo. He does that. Oh yeah, they were never really good. They weren't dominant champions. This and that. They didn't beat anybody. It's never going to stop.
It's never gonna stop. It's never
gonna
gonna
end.
end. That's why I don't get caught. I try not to get too caught up in it. I see it. I make fun of it and move on of all
That's
the
Gakwan.
dumb shit. But other than that, like you can't get too caught because it's like, bro, you not yeah, I'ma just say it. The motherfuckers that's like that is not boxing fans, bro. They got some other kind of weird shit going on. I don't know what the fuck it is. Like, all right,
I'll tell you what, like all these fighters that they like that they're hyping up Jamal. It's like they secretly want to have sex with these dudes. That's what it is.
That's what I think. That's what the shit look like.
Perversion going on there. I think
that's what the shit look like to me. It's like, well, I gotta be the loyalty. Like, I gotta be like, man, listen, man, I don't know what the fuck you want, and I don't have time to figure that shit out, bro. It's a fucking asteroid up there. It's big as shit. It's gonna come real close to Earth in about 2 years. I don't got time, bro. I don't care. I don't
Yo,
care.
Jay, this is Gakwan, just so as you know, my profile photo. This is Gakwan.
Let me see. What the fuck? Oh,
She does
looks like
look like
Rosie.
him. Give her the glasses.
Yo, dog. Why did Pooh
Put those thick frames on her.
I think
Hold on, let me see. What's the broad's name, man? Jenny Sushi?
Jennifer Sushi.
Yo, her last name is really Sushi, bro.
No, her real name is like Ravalo or something like that.
Let me see.
Ravalo or whatever. I remember like it was some type of. She's obviously Filipino, but like I just don't know which one of those like stereotypical like Hispanic names they've gone with.
Let me see. Yo, I'm telling you, like, I don't like, and I'm not critical, you know what I mean? I don't act like I'm the shit or nothing like that, but I'm looking like for a picture that I'll be like, ooh, and it's just, there's no ooh, there's just like, nah, I'm good, bro. Good, bro.
That's the chick that he kissed.
Oh, it is what it is, B.
He took one too many shots to the head on that one, man.
Yo, yeah, I don't see nothing, bro. Like I'm looking, like I'm on Google right now. I'm like, yo, I don't see nothing, bro.
That was right after, like, and don't forget, like, Pulev kind of went life and death in that fight for a few rounds. That was the Bogdan Dinu fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the fight where he got cut. It was the fight where he got cut. Yeah,
he got split open, bro.
Jaime says the people that do that are into fighters that want to argue back and forth over Twitter and justify why their fighter isn't fighting real competition. Yeah, like I think it's become like for some, I think that's just the way that they take in boxing, that they're really just looking for an argument. They don't actually care about boxing or boxing matches. We know that content creators on YouTube do certain things for the money. They'll prop up, certain shit, narratives, and it's obvious why. For the money. I understand that though. I understand that a little better because it's obvious. Well, you doing that because you're trying to get a reaction for the bread. But these cats on Twitter, it's like, bro, what you want to argue every day about some shit you don't even believe? If you believe in Charlo, right? If they make that fight, how many thousands and thousands of dollars are you gonna put on Charlo for all the shit you saying? Like, I'll put 1,000 on Canelo. Yeah, I'll put it that. Like, that's easy money. If you dumb enough to bet against him. Like, are you kidding me, bro? I just seen this clown go 12 with Montiel. Literally, I just watched that shit. And got frazzled. Put on his back foot. No. Wildin'.
Even the commentators in that fight said, talk about like it's the 10th round, and who'd have thought that Montiel would still be in this fight?
Really though, like
right.
Like you wildin'.
Not me. Not me. I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, what the fuck is this garbage?
I think he would have to work a little harder with David Benavidez, but I keep seeing this mental image in my head of Canelo just banging him to the fucking body, B. Because like, yo, dog, you not that good, bro. You just good with the guys you with, but you not that good, bro.
Okay, I just see Canelo giving like that excess skin on his belly a taper fade, bro.
Yep. Canelo will have a field day with David's body, man. He's gonna be there all night
because he got them. His arms is like, you know, everybody's built different. So when you see David in a high guard, I always notice it like, yo, somebody could put shots right in there, all in between there. It's just the guys you fight, they really not, you know, good enough to exploit that. But every time he gets in that high guard, whenever he cover up, I just see like, yo, somebody could put mad shots in there. Somebody could.
Because I remember
you're crazy, man.
I want Canelo to win this golf tournament this week, retire from boxing, and decide to pursue a spot on the PGA Pro Tour. Real shit, yo. Like I'm tired of this shit, yo. Tired of this shit.
Hopefully it'll force these dudes to fight each other. It's in line.
Alexis says David Benavidez is a figment of the imagination. Yeah, bro. He's like, he's not a real boogeyman. Like, all right, let's say this, right? For example, Gary Russell is not a boogeyman. You're not a boogeyman just because Leo ducked you. He the only one that ducked you. Other than that, who ducked you? Nobody, bro. Josh Warrington offered you a fight for $1 million. We talk about it all the time. Who else? Yanni Beck is not yet a boogeyman. Just because you didn't get the Andre fight, that don't really make you a boogeyman. That's one dude. You know what I mean? Like, if it was a bunch of dudes, then we could say, like with Golovkin, it was a bunch of dudes. Lou DiBella said, yo, I'm not putting Sergio in there with him. Peter Quillen, he wanted, like, I forgot what he wanted, like, I think $6 million or some crazy shit.
Oh.
It was some bug-ass number that was like, bro, he not even getting there. So how you get that to you? Billy Joe Saunders, he made it obvious at the Eubank, like, he fought Golovkin, he beat the Pathfuss in the same day. I never forgot that.
What was that accent?
That's that's how the fuck he sounded to me, bro. That's what I heard.
What, he sounded like fucking Oliver Twist. Please, sir, can I have some more?
Yeah, bro. You see, he just turned to a little kid when he started thinking about Golovkin, bro.
Golovkin will beat both of us in the same day. Can we please have some more, sir? What the fuck was that?
Listen.
But Julius go back to 1500s English for a gypsy? What the fuck?
When they asked Miguel Cotto, when Max Kellerman asked Miguel Cotto, Mas, do I look like a middleweight to you? He didn't want no problems.
No.
To you?
Remember what he said? Do you want to fight Golovkin?
So look, I'm just saying that when you got to go through the gears like that just to find an opponent, yeah, you a fucking boogeyman, bro. And Hergovich is in that place because it's like, bro, come on now, like, come on. This is a lot of fucking guys that's saying no, bro. Like, this is a lot of guys.
Dude, it's madness. It's madness.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Like, so just sticking to the boogeyman shit. Benavidez is not a boogeyman. Just because Jamal won't fight you, don't make you no boogeyman. Because I remember when Caleb was calling you out, your promoter spoke to Barbershop Conversations, and Barbershop asked him outright, right? He asked him, yo, when we gonna get that Plant versus Benavidez? And it was your promoter, Samson Lukowicz, that said, oh no, y'all gotta wait for that. We're not gonna do that right now. We gotta wait for that. So I can't blame John B for that. I can't say he ducked. No. It looked to me like you ducked him. That's what it looked like. Being real. Because it's your promoter saying that. It wasn't him. Everything he said on his Instagram, and I remember at that time, he posted about it on Instagram. He said, like, yo, y'all can't blame me for the Benavidez fight not happening. I'm trying to make it happen. Look at what his side is saying. And then he posted the video of Samson Lukowicz. So it's like, yeah, yo, that's the smoking gun, bro. That's the smoking gun. Like, yeah, I can't blame you. So David not no boogeyman, man. Like, come on, B. Come on,
you still think
Who is a boogeyman these days, though? I mean, hardly.
Hergovich, bro. Hergovich. He's a boogeyman.
Hey, Jules, you still think David beats Caleb at this point?
Oh yeah, because he just got knocked the fuck out. Like, and remember that when all of that was going on, there were things about Caleb. There were questions that needed answers, and now all these many months later, we did get those answers. Though we did get them. So I think he gets stopped by David Benavidez.
Crawford's a boogeyman, even though he has a title.
Yeah, he is a boogeyman. He scares me, bro.
Yeah, I want to see him walking down the street. I turn around.
We will not ball out fighters on crap pay-per-view cards. I agree, bro. I am buying Eubank versus Williams, though. I ain't going front. I'm buying that.
Oh, that's just part of my package, so I'm happy.
Hey, who's Tenzou fighting next?
Bro, that's the question, because think about it, country.
Yeah, I want to see Tim again, man.
Listen.
Yeah, me too.
In March is supposed to be the Undisputed between Jamel and Castano. Also in March is Kurbanov versus Teixeira. So I'm
good fight.
Good, yes, yeah, right?
Damn good fight.
He should fight the winner of that fight.
That's what I think Undisputed. I think the WBO title, once it goes vacant, will be contested between the winner of Kurbanov versus Teixeira and Tenzou. I don't think Tenzou is going to get to fight the winner of Charlo versus Castano. I don't.
Unless the winner's like, hey, yo, you know what, bro? If they offer me enough money.
Come on, B. You can't get them guys. Listen, the shit is this, right?
You have a better chance at Castano, don't it?
No, that's what I mean. And I said that if Castano wins, I could actually see him fighting Tenzou. But because I think Jamel is gonna knock him out, I don't see the fight happening.
Why?
Because think about it.
He don't see Al allowing Jamel to go down on.
No, not even that. I believe. Let's say Castano, Jamel Charlo rematch. Let's say Jamel wins the rematch. He knocks out. However, he wins the rematch. Whatever, becomes undisputed. He's not staying at 54, bro. Maul is gonna go to 68. Mel is gonna go to 60. Titles go vacant.
To be fair, at the very least, the IBF will definitely go vacant because they have a mandatory there whose name I cannot remember, who shouldn't be a mandatory just because he has one.
Zaliev or some shit.
Yeah, that's the one. He's absolute garbage, like garbage.
That's IBF, bro. That's the Russian Ocampo. Carlos Ocampo.
Hey, for every Ocampo and Hugo Ruiz we get, every once in a while we do get a worthwhile mandatory from the IBF. Like Ricardo Sandoval, who Sonny Edwards is ducking like the plague and claiming he's being ducked by Martinez.
Right. I like Sonny's confident. Now, can I say this about Sonny Edwards, right? Because he's my Capricorn brother. Hate him or love him, he's a Capricorn. I like his confidence. I like that he's not running from the fight. You know what I mean? That he's asking for it. Do you think he really wants that fight?
No.
Oh, you don't think he really wants?
No, I think he's just using the highest profile name in this division. He knows that fight's not going to happen, and he knew it all along. Like, look, they had that Wasim fight signed weeks ago.
That's true. That is true. And
the thing was signed weeks ago.
But can I ask you, what's your
let me say this. You have one voluntary allowance, right? You have the fight signed after a mandatory. You have two mandatories, and you're calling out a different champion. You've got two You're fucking bullshitting. Go ahead.
Now I want to ask you about the Mitterlane fight. Going into that fight, what was your prediction and what was your reaction?
My prediction was that Mitterlane, the wheels wouldn't have fallen off and he was going to get to him. My reaction is that he didn't get to him. Sonny ran and tippy-tapped and didn't even land like an actual punch, just slaps the whole fight. It wasn't that impressive to me. But I give him credit for getting the victory because I picked the other guy. But the reality is, someone who's younger, fresher, they're gonna walk through those slaps and punch the head off you.
So you knew where I was going. That basically, Mithilane is a pressure guy. That's what he was. Heavy-handed guy, pressure guy.
But his legs were gone, bro.
I saw the fight. His legs were gone. No doubt about it. But I'm saying he stands no chance against Martinez in your eyes. No chance.
No.
That's bold. That's bold.
And I don't think he stands any chance against Junto Nakatani.
No.
Junto kills him. And I'm gonna say this right now. If he doesn't duck and he takes the fight, Ricardo Rafael Sandoval from Rialto, California, he's going to absolutely obliterate Sonny Edwards. Obliterate him. He destroyed Jay Harris in 7 rounds or 9 rounds or whatever the fuck it was. He.
What the hell is that? What the hell is that?
What is that?
The Easter Bunny. It's the Easter Bunny, Jay. You never seen the Easter Bunny?
Is that real?
Bro, that's real though. Like, that's not even cap. Like, that's real.
Oh my god!
Shit.
Imagine getting knocked out by that guy.
Oh my god!
You don't have to imagine getting knocked out by that guy. That guy don't punch.
Jules, could you take that off the screen, please?
Nah, I got you have to witness this shit,
That's
Jay.
with my brain.
Get it off.
Jay, you gotta witness this shit.
Get it off. Get it off.
This is powerful shit, yo.
For God's sakes. Oh, I can't take it.
Powerful shit. I really want to know. Who, like, how?
Who let this shit happen? Who allowed this shit to happen?
I just threw my dinner on the floor.
You gotta listen. You got a whole team. You got a cut man. You got a trainer. You got a manager. You cool with? Did Lyndon Arthur put you up to this? Like,
Yo, that's fucking evil, bro. Did Lyndon have to put you to this?
I'm serious. Like, who let this happen?
Somebody needs to be held accountable for this shit.
Bro, how could he have thought this? How could he have thought this was a good idea?
I think he was watching Monsters Inc. the night before, and he said he was gonna go in as Boo.
Bro, I don't understand.
Well, he looked like he about to go work the corner somewhere, man. I mean,
you know what he looked like? Who's seen In Living Color with Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Oh, you're fucked up.
You remember that shit? I forgot what the name was.
I know who you mean. Yeah, I know you.
Was it Rhonda or some shit?
I gotta look that shit up now. Who the fuck was that?
Bro, he's wilding. Like, he's wilding. So on the
a female bodybuilding competition, he whinnied like a horse, and he was the #1 winner in that. This
is the fight that I'm looking forward to. I am looking forward to this fight. I don't think I've asked. I don't think I've asked Mark.
At Caesars.
Mark, I wanted to ask you. What is? I'm going with Khan. I am going with Khan.
Really?
I've gone against because it's like this is the thing. My stake in this fight always was that Brook is more solid than Amir Khan takes a better shot, and he's a strong puncher. And I still think he's a stronger puncher than Khan, but I don't think at this point I think Brook is shot, and that's the advantage that he had, that he always had, that he brought into the fight years ago. Like, yo, Brook is solid, bro. He got a chin. But I don't think he has that anymore. I think he's shot. So because of that, I'm like, okay, then with two guys that are shot, that can't take a shot, it comes down to who lands first. Amir Khan is faster. I'm going with Amir Khan. Mark, how do you see the fight?
Normally, when it comes to two guys who are shot and the punch resistance is shot, I go with whoever has more experience in terms of being shot. Now, Kell Brook, he still has athleticism. He still seems to be able to throw a punch and timing. We haven't seen him in 3 years, but last time we seen him, he still had his speed, still had some power, right? But Amir Khan has been fighting with a shot chin for over 27 years.
Exactly,
Right.
Mark.
And
Exactly.
Kell Brook is only learning to deal with this. Like, people will laugh at that concept, but normally when somebody has experience in handling themselves with fragility, you favor them. So I gotta go with Khan, and I think it'll be winning 5 rounds. If this was 6 years ago, Kell Brook would have destroyed. But
Yes, I
now
think that.
I got Amir Khan.
I got Amir Khan. I got
By the
Amir
way,
Khan.
Jim Carrey's character is Vera DeMilo as
That's
the
it.
body.
Vera
That's it.
DeMilo.
That's it.
Vera DeMilo. Vera DeMilo. Mark, just you don't have to get into a prediction. You know, you don't have to do that, and you guys don't have to do that. But just are you excited by this fight?
I am actually. I am. I'm one of the few people on panels I go to that is actually very intrigued by the fight. Because I actually like Ugas as a fighter. I really rate him. I think he often gets over criticized and put down a lot because of what happened at 140. They ignore that he was drained. They ignore the improvements Salas has made with him. He's a very good jab. He's got a very good jab, good timing. Spence, he was fighting a Danny Garcia who literally was pulling punches, which was just mind-boggling to me. I don't see Ugas fighting the same way at all. It's also the first time I see Spence in there with, in my opinion, a guy of his size who can really box. So it does excite me. It's not the fight I want the most, because the fight I want the most I've wanted for 5 years, right? But in terms of if you're not fighting Crawford, there's nobody else there to fight except that dude. And once that's the honest truth. There is nothing else that's even remotely acceptable. He's not name value. But I actually think this is going to be a much harder fight for Spence than anybody might think. I think this will be the hardest fight of his career. And politics, I think, is what will bail him out on the end of the night.
Well, I mean, look, let's just be honest. Ugas doesn't have eyebrows, and you know.
Jay, let me piggyback off.
Did I have any hair?
Let me piggyback off that, right? Right? He doesn't have eyebrows, right? He doesn't have hair on his head. He probably doesn't have pubes, right, folks? This dude.
Oh, you didn't have to do that, Mark.
Listen to me. No, let me do this. It's very important. I said that. It's very important. Right? He doesn't have many fans. The people out there who don't like Spence and they're angry at him and everything and whatever, they need to get behind this man. They need to be the hair on Ugas's balls. On his head. He needs that. You need to be the hair on his balls. You need to get behind him and Viva la Cuba. You need to support. Instead of
why did you go there?
Oh shit! I did not see that coming though. I really didn't though.
Yo, that's a sales pitch.
Oh shit!
That's a sales
I did
pitch.
not see that coming, dog. Like I really like what is he setting up? And now I understand. I need to be the hair on his balls.
That's a sales pitch if I've ever heard one.
I was inspired, bro. My eyes
too.
welled up. My eyes welled up a little bit. Like y'all remember in the Avengers when T'Challa walked out of the portal?
Yeah.
Eyes welled up. I felt that shit, B. I really felt that shit. In all seriousness, though, I've thought about it. And because of the potential for this to be a banana skin, I'm actually considering buying this fight. Because I am with Mark on this, that I think this is going to be this could end up being a lot harder than people realize. Ugas is a very capable fighter. He's not pound for pound, but he's nothing to sneeze at. Like, he really isn't. He's nothing to sneeze at. And anybody that doubts that, watch the Porter fight. He got a lot of fucking respect from Sean. A lot more respect than Sean gave Errol.
Tim Bradley just said he's been drinking.
Hey, yo, hold up. Let me say something real quick to Tim Bradley. Now, Tim, I love you. You're one of my favorite fighters of all time, but I need to tell you something real. I've said that numerous times while you've been doing commentary. Numerous times, Tim.
It's getting spicy. Shout out to Tim Bradley. But no, in all seriousness, I am considering buying the fight because I am with Mark on this, that this may be a more difficult fight than people realize. I think people need to go back and watch Ugas' last couple of fights. He's there, man. The counters are sharp. He's ever present. And it's just anytime I think about this fight, right? I try not to think about it too much because it annoys me that it's not Terrence Crawford. But when I envision the fight, I just see Spence having a hard fucking time with this guy, man.
Me too. His length, especially. Big guy.
Plus, he's coming off another year and a half of inactivity too. So,
yeah, like this is not the kind of guy that you come back with. You know what I mean? Like, nah, bro, you don't come back with a guy like this. He's waiting for you, bro. And you know that's why he fought so hard and was so irritated with the WBA when they tried. You know, like it's obvious why he was irritated. Like I have the opportunity to catch Spence at the most opportune time to catch Spence. I don't want y'all to fuck that up for me. Mark, so you think politics are gonna bail him out? You think politics may end up bailing? So
I think if he wins the fight, I genuinely believe that's what's gonna bail him out. I really do. But I actually am picking Ugas.
That's gutsy, man. That's really gutsy.
And I'm picking Ugas to stop him.
Wow.
Because I don't see a lot of people treating the situation with the gravity that it has. That look, Spence has suffered a detached retina. All right, that's not no joke. He sat out all of last year, the whole year. You don't sit out the whole year because you're in tip-top shape, you know. You don't. Right. And you've been at welterweight. Errol has been at welterweight for my money. I think he's been there too long. So yeah, he could get this could be upset. This could be upset.
I think it'll be a stoppage. I really do. And I think Julius thinks there's a potential for it too, because Julius, you'll admit it. If you didn't think there was a chance you guys could give this a real fight, you'd be much more hesitant than buying it.
Yeah, you're right. That's what's influencing. That's what's influencing my That's what's influencing my money. That I'm like, look, man, something major could happen. And look, I know I'm mad about the Crawford stuff. Let me put that to the side for a second. Stylistically, this is a great fight. Stylistically, I don't think it should be a pay-per-view. Not when I'm getting Stevenson versus Valdez on regular ESPN, 2 unbeaten, 2 division champions. So I don't think this should be a pay-per-view, and I stand by that I get better fights on fucking ESPN that don't cost me $80. Better still, stylistically, this is an action fight, though. It's an action fight. It's not going to be no jabbing, feinting, moving. Nah, it's an action fight. And because Spence is an action fighter, and that's really the only way he knows, he might get fucking stopped, bro.
Tim just said now he is smoking.
Get Tim Bradley on here.
Let me post the link for Tim. Let me post the link for Tim. I'm gonna post the link for Tim. And my question, no, wait a minute. Don't say nothing. I'm gonna ask Tim, when have you ever seen Spence in a slow, cerebral chess match? Because I've been seeing him for years, and every fight he has is an action fight. Every fight. He don't be in no thinking man's fight, moving and jabbing. All his fights is action fights. And the difference now to before is, bro, you coming off a car accident, an eye injury, and a year inactivity. And Ugas is riding high off a career best win over Manny Pacquiao. He feeling fantastic right now.
You feeling fancy?
I'm saying, like, wouldn't you if you just beat Manny Pacquiao in a short notice fight?
Yeah,
wouldn't you?
Yep.
Telling you, man.
Come on board, Tim.
Is he here?
Not yet. I'll let y'all know if he's back there. But I'm kind of with Mark on this. I see the potential for this to be something could happen, and because something could happen, I might end up buying this fight. But as far as Thurman Barrios, I'm not buying that, bro. I'm just no.
No, that's an insult, man.
That's disrespectful.
For general principles, I can't buy that fight. I think we got Tim in the building. Tim is in the building. I'm gonna put him on the big screen. Put Tim on the big screen.
What's up, Tim?
There's Tim's buffer.
Desert Storm.
All right, we gotta wait for his signal because the signal is lagging a little bit. But yeah,
The
man,
signal got hit by a desert storm, bro.
we gonna see. We gonna see. We get Tim on here talk about Ugas versus Spence, but I am with Mark on this. My gut tells me that something may happen in that fight. Something might happen.
He's gonna have to take it out of the judges' hands because I think that politics will favor Spence as well. I agree.
Jaime Nieto says if Spence wins this fight and doesn't address Bud in the post fight, we're gonna know for sure where he stands. I see him dodging the question again, and this. I want to say this, Jaime. I'm a Capricorn, so I have psychic powers. And for some reason, I can't see Spence doing a post-fight interview.
If he does, he's not going to mention Crawford. That's for sure.
It's not that. It's that. It's like remember when I said, all right, here go Tim. I'm gonna let.
Yo, I'm right here.
I bet Tim talking about
Mark,
this.
Where Mark at? Is this
go,
Mark? What?
Go ahead, Tim. Floor is yours.
Mark, you sitting up here talking crazy, man. You really think Spence is gonna get knocked out by Ugas? When was the last time Ugas knocked somebody out?
It's been a while, and it has nothing to do with knocking him out. I think he's gonna get stopped. I think it'll possibly be an RTD because I'm worried about the injuries, the accumulation of situations outside of the ring, his health, and where it is at this moment. That's my problem. He's been at welterweight for quite a long time. He mentioned over 2 years ago he was struggling to make weight, and with those variables, with a dude whose jab is that active, I see a situation possibly similar to JoJo's Daniel Dubois at welter. That's my opinion.
Tim, I want to ask you, Tim. You know Ugas, good counterpuncher. He's sharp. He's riding high. He's coming off a career best win over Manny Pacquiao. I feel like if he can hit Spence with a punch he don't see in that eye, that's gonna be all she wrote, man.
I mean, I look at the eye is a concern for me too. But as far as Spence's overall toughness, as far as Spence's style. Spence, he likes waiters, man. He likes guys that sit in front of him. Ugas is the type of guy that likes to sit in front. He has the high guard. He is pretty I want to say he's active out of his high guard with his counter punches, but Spence is used to that. He's the bigger guy. He's long. He's a southpaw. I understand that the Cubans, they know how to deal with southpaws. I understand all of that because you had a guy like Manny Pacquiao that had a hard time with Ugas. But Spence is just a different animal, man. A different animal.
You smoking crazy. You smoking.
Nah, crazy. He knows how to listen to me. He knows how to control.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Tim.
He knows how to control what?
Let me say this. If this was Spence from 2017, I would agree. If this was Spence from 2018, I would agree. But a guy who's coming off an injury like that, and that amount of time off, Ugas' timing is going to be on point. Ugas is going to be sharp, but Spence, I don't think he's going to be sharp. And I think Ugas might lay into him because he knows that, because he feels that they're like he knows the scoop, he knows the story, like he know the things that we don't know. You know what I mean?
He also knows the magnitude and the scope of this fight.
Yeah, everything he wants is on the other side of this fight.
Hey, I got a question for Tim real quick. Hey, Tim, I picked up some of those Usana vitamins, man, that you had mentioned before. You got any other recommendations on that sort of thing?
I think I think Tim is having some mic issues, or he might be frozen, connection issues. We'll see if he'll come back. But it's just it's one of those things that I don't see nothing after this fight, bro. Like when I said that I can't see Fury fighting on Matchroom, right? I said that a few days before the purse bid was ruled. And what ended up happening is, you know what? He's not fighting on Matchroom. Now, we don't know if we're going to get Whyte versus Fury, but I felt like, I can't see him fighting on Matchroom. I just can't see that happening. I don't know if it's because he's going to vacate. I don't know, but I just don't see him fighting over there. With Spence in this fight, I don't see a post-fight interview for Spence. Don't see it. And that could be because he loses. That could be because he gets stopped.
Well, his eye, man, that's what I'm tripping on.
I think the doctor's going to stop it. I think the doctor's
possibly.
And two,
and it's not just the eye though. It's also he hasn't been under the hot lights in a year, man. That's a wow, man. Like think about this. We got Tim right now.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what everybody's saying. I mean, that's my concern going in the fight as well. But I'm just thinking about, I'm saying a healthy Spence. I think the style suits him well. A healthy Spence, I think he'll be fine. I mean, I'm just I'm going off of just him being healthy and 100%. You know, we know that he's not, but I still think he has enough in him to be able to get the job done.
Tim, let me say this. It's kind of like leading into the George Kambosos versus Teofimo Lopez fight, right? Ahead of that fight, and I talked about it many times here on the channel, that Lopez, he hadn't fought in a while, and making that weight, he hasn't had to make that weight in a while. That's a factor, and it could catch up to him with George. And we saw how the fight played out. I feel like Spence has been at welterweight too long, that maybe he should have moved up to junior middle at least a year ago or something, because he's been there for years, and he's not a small welterweight.
Understood. Yeah, I mean that's those reasons are acceptable. I think you got make a lot of sense with those reasons and why you're worried about Spence. I mean, you're right. I mean, he's been out welterweight his whole entire career. He's a big guy. Car accident, injuries, he's been out of the ring. Yeah, all those things are definitely play a factor.
And Tim, this is, for me, this is the first time he's fought a welterweight, in my opinion, who's his own size at world level since Kell Brook. Like his own size overall. Cal was a little shorter, but he was really stocky. But we seen Cal was coming down from 160. Whereas Ugas, he's very big across the back. He's not a small man. That's a big welter. That's a big-ass welter. Shorter reach, but huge welter.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But why do you think they chose Ugas? Have you ever thought about that? I mean, why not Crawford?
Tim, but see, this is the thing, Tim. Tim, I agree with you, right? If I gotta choose between Bud and Ugas, I'm gonna pick Ugas, because Bud, they know, and they know, like, nah, we can't do this. Like, no, we can't fight. I don't like. If you want my honest opinion, I don't think Errol never gonna fight that man. Never. He not.
By the way, speaking of which,
he knows, bro. Listen, he knows in his chest. He knows I don't have it for him. But Ugas, I could deal with Ugas, so I'm gonna go with Ugas. But Ugas ain't no picnic neither, though.
Exactly. Just because you pick one over another, right? You've only got the two choices. You can pick the easier one. It doesn't mean that the easier one is like a give. It doesn't necessarily mean that.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that. But they picked Ugas because of his style. I mean, if you look at Danny Garcia, he's a waiter. Yeah, he's a smaller guy, but he's a waiter too. He's a counterpuncher.
He don't have the activity on that jab.
Well,
you don't have the activity on the jab.
You saying Ugas has a better jab than Spence?
Than Danny?
I'm saying it's better than Danny's. Way better than Danny's.
I'm gonna say
Spence got the busiest jab in the welterweight division.
Let me say
he's even busier than Terrence Crawford's.
Hey, I don't know about that.
You can have the best jab, but that's when you're healthy. That man ain't healthy.
Did you say that about the Danny Garcia fight?
He didn't look the same against Danny. And by the way, Tim, I know you know your boxing. Tell me Danny wasn't pulling his shots more than he's ever pulled them. He was pulling a lot of punches. Pulling them.
Well, Danny was afraid to get hit. That's why.
Yes.
Danny was afraid to get hit.
Can I say this? I'm gonna say this. When I think about that fight, and just maybe this is a clairvoyant psychic moment of power that I'm having, I see Ugas countering him, and something bad happen. Like that's what I see. I see something off a counter, because I'm like, see, it's true. Danny was a waiter, and so is Ugas. But Ugas got faster hands and more reach than Danny. He don't got to be right up on you to touch you. And he does know how to deal with southpaws. If he touch you to that eye and you not ready for it, something bad could happen.
Makes sense.
Could I ask him a question?
Makes sense.
Hey Tim, I got a question real quick, man.
What's up?
Before you mentioned some Usana vitamins, I picked some up for my workout routine. You got any other recommendations for stuff like that?
Do you got the CoQ10, the coquinone? Do you have that in the pack?
I got the core essentials and the other one. They came in a 2-pack together.
All right. You probably need to make your own. You can basically pick and make your own pack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can put it together. I can show you, man. I got a health pack right here. Give me 1 second. I'll show you what it is.
Please,
it's
please.
It's a health pack.
By the way, Tim, why you doing that? Can I ask you something? By the way, pleasure. By the way, let's just say Ugas pulls off the upset and beats Spence. Do you see him fighting Bud next? Yeah or nay?
I will hope. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they're doing over there on the PBC side. You know, those guys are all in control, man. So, Bud is kind of right now again in the same predicament he was when he was a top rank.
Yeah,
you know, he's getting pushed out.
Who do you think Bud's next fight will be against?
Man, right now, to be honest with you, I'm hearing that it might be Ellis. What's his name? Jerron.
Jaron Ennis or Rashidi Ellis?
Jerron Ennis.
Oh, wow. Hey, I'll take it.
Texted you, Julius.
That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that, but I don't know how true that is. I mean, I reached out to Terrence. He hasn't got back to me yet, but I heard grapevine that it might be him.
Wow. Because I heard his next fight is Josecito Lopez.
Nah, it ain't gonna be Lopez, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
I heard his next fight is against Josecito Lopez, and it's gonna be on Pro Bellum.
Listen, man. I love Bud and all of that, but I ain't gonna buy that fight, bro. Like
it's gonna be on Pro Bellum against Josecito Lopez.
I bought the Khan fight just out of love. I'm not gonna buy no Josecito Lopez fight in Dubai. I'm not gonna buy that.
By the way, Tim, something else. Hey, Khan and Brook, who you got? Who you picking?
Oh, Khan. But I think the fight is interesting, man, because both guys are 35 years old. If you look at both guys' records, their losses, most of their losses came by knockout. So they kind of chinny with that. They've been very, very inactive. So they've been 3 fights or so. What's up, baby? 3 fights or so within the last 4 years.
The last loss was to Terrence Crawford too. So
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, Khan, he knocked out Billy Dibbs, I believe, about 2019 or something like that. Or
yeah.
I mean, timing beats speed. Khan is a speeder, and then you got the timing from Kell Brook. I mean, I think it's anybody's fight, but if I was going to bet on somebody, I would bet on Khan. Because he's training with Bomac now.
Yeah, so that's what I was going. He got the stronger corner. That's what I was going to say too.
He's been training with Crawford too. So and sparring
Crawford was taking him on the pads, and it's like he's prepping Khan to be the guy who he beat.
Yep.
Now, Tim, I want to ask you just anecdotally. Does your gut tell you that we are going to get Fury versus Whyte? Do you see that fight materializing, or does your gut tell you, man, that fight ain't going to happen?
No, the fight's happening. You're going to see Fury Whyte. Yes. That fight happening. No doubt about it.
I hope we get that fight.
You got Fury
Who
for
you
that?
got in that one, Tim?
You picking Fury?
Oh, Fury going to do the same thing he did to Deontay Wilder. He going to walk him down. He going to press him.
He gonna pressure the insulin fighter?
Wait, y'all need to calm down. Now let me say this, right?
Fury pressure Whyte.
Wilder and Whyte is different beasts. Wilder don't like people being on the inside with him because he can't get that arm out to straighten it out for that right hand. Dillian is a hooker. He like being there. He like throwing body shots. He like the guy being close to him. So I see if Fury try to come forward on him, he gonna make it harder on himself doing that. He need to box Whyte. That's what he like boxing.
Yeah, but I want him to do what Tim's saying though, because that makes that fight way more entertaining.
By the way, Tim, could you give us another inside scoop? What's Teofimo doing at 140? Is Arnold Barbosa in talks?
That's what they say in Barbosa. I think that's I mean, I get it. Barbosa came first, but he's tough, man. He's a guy that's hungry. He's been waiting on him.
Barbosa wants that fight. He wants to fight Teo.
Right,
he wants
man.
that
Barbosa's,
fight. Yeah.
140's got a lot of killers, man.
One at a time, gentlemen. One at a time. Let them finish the question. Go ahead, Tim.
I think it's going to be Barbosa. That's what I'm hearing. Barbosa, I believe in April, May, like April, May. Barbosa.
Do you think that's a little bit too much for his first fight at 140?
Hell yeah.
Wait a minute, yeah, chill. That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, yo, so you just lost your belts at 35, so they could put you in there with Barbosa at 40 in your next fight.
I mean, Barbosa, like I told you, that he can't punch, and that's the thing. They're banking on that he can't punch. He's shown he has a chin, somewhat. He can fight inside and outside as well. He's busy with his hands. He can be hit. But that's a tough out, man. That's a tough out for anybody at 140, in my opinion.
I agree. I
wouldn't do that fight. I think Teo needs a lighter touch to build his confidence back, get him back in the ring, get the people back, watching the fans back, getting, paying attention to him and what he's doing in the sport, and just get the confidence back and get an easy knockout, man. Maybe a couple of those, and then go after Barbosa. But dude, I think. Let me
say this. I think the ideal fight for young Teofimo Lopez, a New York City fight between New Yorkers. It should be Teofimo versus Josue Vargas. They're both coming off a loss.
I like that.
That makes sense. Arnold Barboza for Teofimo Lopez, to me, is too much too soon for a young guy that needs to rebound. It's too much.
Exactly.
I agree. I agree.
I just want to say, I
like that.
All right, one at a time, fellas. Go ahead, Mark.
He don't punch Barbosa, but he throws a lot of shots, a lot of fucking punches, and we seen what happened to Saucedo. He's also he's a pretty big 140 pounder, Barbosa. He's not small, and that's one thing. And my whole thing is he throws so much volume, and he can box pretty well off of the back foot. I look at him as just a larger, faster, more voluminous Kambosos.
Yes. And that's why it's so wrong, bro. Like, this kid, he had problems with his chest and all of the breathing stuff. You know what I mean? He's coming off a loss. It seems like, yo, dog, this is a sink or swim situation. And I don't know what Teofimo's corner situation is going to be. I would think it would be encouraging if he had Joey Gamache in his corner, because they did great stuff with Joey Gamache in the Nakatani fight and the Lomachenko fight. But if I don't see Joey, rough seas, very rough seas.
Hey, man, I just want to let y'all know, man, I listen in every now and then to you guys, man. You guys do a great job, man, breaking down the fights and just talking boxing, man. Seriously. This is the dopest boxing channel, man. I'm serious, on YouTube, man. I appreciate y'all commentary and everything that y'all talk about, man, for real.
I'm about to cry. Tim just said this is the best boxing channel, B.
Boxing talk. Hey, this is the best boxing talk channel, bro. I don't fuck with a lot of people, man. Only a few guys I mess with you, and I mess with this dude named Boxing Gems. And that's it. I don't mess with nobody else. Boxing Gems for the breakdowns. He does tremendous breakdowns, and then you guys for the boxing talk and just keeping it 100 all the way through, man. And that's what I appreciate about you guys, man. For real.
Right.
100.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that, man.
And by the way, I want to put Tim in a rock and a hard place. Tim, if I'm right and Ugas stops Spence because of a doctor stoppage or an RTD on ESPN on the next fight that's up, shout out Ring IQ. Shout out the channel.
You ain't got it.
I don't have a problem with that. I'll shout y'all out regardless. I'll shout you out regardless. Awesome. The only thing is, I told you, big. I was like, man. I asked you one day, bro. I said, man, what? I said, why the hell? How the hell you get kicked off of one of the social media networks platforms you got kicked off of?
It was Twitter, man. And you know what the thing about?
Because I was gonna shoot you out some love, and I couldn't because it wasn't up.
Look, I'm gonna say this, right? Twitter, and I just have to maturate as I get older, because I get drawn out into the arguments and the BS, or I was, and now I figured out, look, man, just use the block button. That's it. Just block. Don't even get involved in because it's Twitter, bro. I'm only on Twitter really for the news, because the news on Twitter is fast, but every so often, end up in an arg. I'm like, see, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna stay off of that and just block. If I see some funny looking shit, somebody say something funny, I ain't even gonna argue with you. Block. That's it. Because I'm damn near 40. I don't need to be arguing. You know what I mean?
Hey, Tim. So how do you make those packs you were talking about? Like the USANA lets you do that?
Yeah. So it's a health pack, bro. Hold on, let me see it. I'm in my crib right now. Wait up. One sec. Here.
Oh, no problem. Thank you, man. I appreciate your advice. Thank you so much.
It's a personalized health pack, bro. It's personalized. Hold up, let's see if you can see it. Personalized nutrition for health. It's for athletes.
Okay. Right.
So
I've seen that on Amazon.
You seen this?
Yeah, on Amazon. They had that. They had the box like that, and then they had a couple of bottles and different ones.
Yeah, this pack right here, bro. This stuff come already packed, bro. See, packaged already.
Wow. So what's the criteria for it? I mean, did they ask you questions, or you just order that particular
you just basically pick what you want in your package. That's basically all you do. You pick what you want in your package. So I got like profavanol, which is for your joints and also for inflammation. I got the calcium. Of course, I got your B vitamins, complex vitamins in that as well. What else in there? Got your minerals. Got to have the minerals in there as well.
Right.
Tim, I got a question for you. We got the undisputed at junior middle coming up. My pick for that fight is Jermell Charlo knockout. Am I off base, or is it really that Jermell? Because I see the situation as a situation where it's going to come down to who can make adjustments. Brian has always been a pressure fighter. He fights the fight the same way, whether it's Michael Soro, whether it's Jermell Charlo, anybody else. He fights the fight the same way. Am I off base picking Jermell to knock him out?
No, I think he had him out. I thought he had him out in the first fight. He landed a couple of big bombs, hurt him early on. Both guys were trading bombs, but what I worry about with Charlo is, and I know the adjustment is going to have to be, he's going to have to let his hands go a little bit more often. The problem is that he don't let his hands go, man. He's just so methodical. He thinks a little bit. He overthinks things a lot of the times. Doesn't really let his offense go naturally and just let it flow. But this time around, I think he will. He's gonna have to. Yeah. Because Castano's gonna fight the same way. He's gonna pressure. He's gonna try to get in his chest and try to back him up and try to tire him out. But Charlo, I believe he's gonna catch him. He's gonna catch him this time. He's gonna hurt him, and he's gonna finish him.
That's what I see happening in my crystal ball. I think he's gonna knock him out.
Okay, Tim, I got one question for you. If Charlo happens to fight Canelo, what do you see happening in that fight?
Canelo's a different man. See, Canelo's tricky, bro.
Go ahead, Tim, tell us.
He's tricky. Man, look. Charlo, look, first of all, Charlo's 6 foot. He's a big guy. 74-inch reach. Canelo, I believe, is like 72, so he's gonna have him on the reach. Charlo can punch like a son of a gun, and then he's going up to 168 pounds. Canelo's been there. Charlo's never been there, but I think his power will carry up with him, and I think he'll be okay because he's been at 160 for some time now. But Canelo is just, he uses that high guard, man, and he attacks out of that high guard in so many different ways. He sets you up, counters. He catches and shoots. I mean, he moves his head off the line and counters. I mean, there's so much that he does, man. He walks you down. His presence, it wears on you. Just the atmosphere is different too, bro. It's just completely different. I don't know if Charlo's ever fought that type of magnitude of a fight where you're fighting against an icon, a guy that they consider one of the best in the world, bro. Like, that brings a different type of emotion, a different type of feeling inside a fighter, bro. So can he handle that? All the answering the questions over and over, all the interviews, and it's a fucking headache. I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's a headache. It's tiring, and you lose a lot of sleep. And on that big day, bro, it's just a different feeling when you're looking across the ring and you have, this icon in front of you, and you're like, is this real? And once you get in there, bro, you see it's a different level. It's a completely different level. So I would say I'll pick Canelo. I don't think he'll knock him out. I just think that Canelo's just a little bit more offensive minded and defensive minded at the same damn time, if you know what I mean. Charlo, great fighter. Yeah. He's a great fighter, but you know, I think he'll get outworked. I think the pressure will get to him as well. Castano showed that. No, it wasn't Castano. Castano that fights after before, but the pressure will get to him, and I think it'll be. I think Canelo wins. I think he wins the fight. I don't think he stops.
I think let me say this, Tim. I think this way the Danny Jacobs fight, the experience from that fight, because Danny Jacobs to me is more dynamic than Jamal. To me, he good on the inside and on the outside. He do a little bit of switch hitting, not like Crawford, but he do a little bit of switch hitting. And I feel like the experience that Canelo had with Danny and having that fight, he looked great in that fight, man. He looked great in that fight, staying off the line, getting under punches, countering. And I'm like, look, Jamal is all right on the outside when he shoot the jab, straighten out his own. He all right on the outside, but I just see, like you mentioned, he liked the pressure guys by staying in front of them, getting in that high guard, catching and shooting. And that's why I see, he might stop him. Maybe it's a body shot, but he going to make it hard for Jamal to know where's the punch going to come from. Is he going to come from my head? Is he going to come from my body? I see him getting stopped. I do see him getting stopped.
Wow. Big call. That's a big call. It's a big call. Wow. Can I ask Tim, because this is a division that like you made your bones at 140, right? Yep. And there's a fight coming up that not many people are talking about that I'm really interested in between Postal and Gary Antoine Russell. And I'm wondering where you're leaning in that fight, because I think one, it's a great proving ground fight, and Gary Antoine, he's very ultra aggressive, but Postal can handle himself, and he can handle himself well. We seen his last fight against Ramirez. Some people had different scorecards. A great fight, that one. So, what are you thinking in that team? That's a great fight.
I'm going with the young blood, Anton.
Yeah,
I think Victor Postal can handle himself very well. Yeah, but he's definitely watered down now.
Yeah,
suffered tons of defeats. I think he lays down and just coughs it up a little bit more easier now than he did back in when he was undefeated before he fought Terrence Crawford. So I think the young gun. I think he's just more dynamic. To be honest with you, I mean, Postal's gonna try to keep him on the outside, of course. But I think the young gun's gonna close the distance. He has a hellacious offense. Gosh, throws great straight lefts down the middle, great body puncher, aggressive, and he's hungry, man. Yeah, that's the one thing y'all forget about, man, is these young fighters are freaking hungry. They come with a different type of mentality. Like Postal's been at the top, he's been champion. He felt like that. This guy has money. He's been at the top. But this young guy's trying to get there. So they fight with a different type of tenacity, bro. And he's very talented too. I got to go with the young gun, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, Postal hasn't fought since the Ramirez fight, so that kind of, everything he could do if he was more active, I could see, because he could be very awkward, box from the outside, very good jab, but he literally hasn't fought since the Ramirez fight, and that was like over a year ago. So I don't like that. Like, nah, you can't get off the couch for no young gunner. He's trying to take your head off, this young guy. You need to be ready for that.
By the way, a couple questions. I got a couple questions for Tim right quick. The upcoming, speaking of Ramirez, the Ramirez Pedraza fight, who you got in that?
Oh my goodness. What's crazy? Real quick. So Pedraza supposedly had caught COVID.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Nah, Ramirez caught COVID too. Just heads up.
Oh.
Stop.
They're gonna push it back again. Is it gonna be postponed?
Nah, they caught it around the same time, so it's postponed right now. Everything is good, but he caught it too, because I was leaning more towards Ramirez at first, and I was like, well, Pedraza might can outbox him, and then I was like, man, well, shoot, he was able to handle Taylor pretty well, and Taylor's a damn good fighter, and I'm like,
I'm still with Ramirez, and I'm gonna say
I'm going with Ramirez, bro. I'm going with Ramirez. I think I'm gonna go with him. I just think he just has a different motor.
By stoppage, on point. By point on stoppage.
And no, I think he's gonna stop. I think he's gonna stop Jose, because most people don't realize that Ramirez is big for 140, man. Jose was all the way down there 130 at one point, to 135 to 140. Ramirez is like, bro, Ramirez is a big 140. It ain't like it's Borincic. He big for that division.
Hey, Tim.
He's strong too.
What's your pick this for Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano? This is a big women's boxing fight, man.
Look, everybody's picking Serrano based upon what she's been doing to all these girls, knocking them out and being aggressive and looking good. And I just think that Katie Taylor got one more good one left in her, man. And this is the fight she's gonna show up. Serrano's been waiting on this opportunity. This is kind of like payback for older sister, little sister now got to get a chance to beat Taylor. And but Katie, man, the speed, man. Serrano is the type to, for me, I think with the power, she has to be set to punch. I think that the in and out movement of Katie Taylor, bouncing in, changing the distance, getting out, and then countering it back and forth. I think she's able to keep her off balance with that offense, man, and that footwork, that pendulum footwork going back and forth. I see it being a tough fight, but speed, quickness, agility, reflexes. I'm gonna go with Katie, man. I'm gonna go with Katie Taylor, and I know everybody's on Serrano. I get it. I understand. And they say knockout. She's gonna knock her out. I'm like, all right, okay.
Look, let me say this, Tim, and I say it all the time, but it's like this, right? Look, I seen Katie against more base styles than I seen Amanda. Amanda do need to set her feet to punch. She ain't been in there with nobody that could get in and out, put the combination together, get out, stay off the line, move, pivot. She not used to that. I looked at all them fights. I'm like, what girl did she fight that could fight on the balls of her feet and shift and pivot and get like, nah, she ain't used to that. But Katie is used to that because of that amateur pedigree and that professional pedigree. So I see Katie Taylor on points. People not gonna like it, but that's what I see.
I see it too. And like I said, these fights are 50-50, man, and we don't know. I mean, stylistically, I think both of them have a good chance because Serrano got some pretty good timing as well with her shots, but I just think she's slow-footed. I don't think she's as quick as everybody thinks she is. I think she's just fighting the right opponents.
There you go.
Katie's been fighting everybody, man, every different style. You remember the girl that she fought? What was the one, a tall, long, lanky one that she fought that went toe-to-toe with?
Delphine Passoon, who's a pressure fighter. She fought Delphine Passoon, who's a pressure fighter. She fought Firuza Sharapova, who's a boxer puncher. She fought Anaïs Sanchez, who's a pure. It's like everything you could deal with.
She fought also Jay. She fought Jessica McCaskill, and I'm not trying to be funny or not, but Jessica hits harder than Serrano, man.
Yes,
I'm not gonna fuck with that shit.
And she rematched Pursoon on top of it and came out winning again.
And I don't want to turn this into the Katie Taylor hour, but I'm just being real. That look, I followed Amanda before 2018. I seen who she was fighting, and it's like, look, it's not that they bad. But that's not a variety. Them girls you fighting got slow feet, leaky defense. They can't punch like you. They ain't fast. So that's not what you got in front of you with Katie. You got all that stuff that you ain't been dealing with. With Katie. That's what you ain't been dealing with. The last two girls she fought, those were super bantamweights. Those wasn't featherweights. Daniela Bermudez is from super bantam. Yami Left Mercado, super bantam. You're not even really facing the girls that's there. So I look at that. I'm like, listen, man. Nothing against Amanda, but I got Katie. Katie.
By the way, Tim, another prediction for you. Berlanga versus Rose. Who you got? No, I'm kidding.
No, don't joke. That's actually a competitive fight, though. Don't be joking. That's a tough fight for Berlanga. Steve Rose can box, and don't make it like. Don't make it Berlanga wasn't struggling his ass off against Cocheras. Rose is at that level.
Listen to me, man. Listen to me. I'll keep it 100. I just don't. I love Berlanga. I just think that he's been matched properly. I really do. I think he's been matched properly. No disrespect to him or his camp. I believe what I believe. I see what I see. I see a guy throws the jab at the same speed, a guy that really hasn't mastered the fundamentals yet, even in boxing yet. He's slow on his feet. He's always looking for the home run. There's a lot missing. There's a lot missing. And the biggest thing for me is that the chin. I think he's chinny, bro. He was in with a guy that I think the last fight he was in there with a guy that couldn't punch, man. He hurt him.
But that same guy, though, Tim, that same guy dropped Billy Joe Saunders.
I understand. I understand timing. That if you
actually no, right, he was up on the cards against Billy Joe. He didn't drop.
Billy Joe knocked him out. Billy Joe knocked him out.
He's not a knockout artist, and he was able to hurt him and hurt him badly. So I don't know, man. I know Rose is a little bit older. I don't know. I don't know.
Look, no. I mean, being real, he can get Rose because Rose is a little bit older. He just, you know, he looked fresh, but he's an older cat. He's in his mid to late 30s, I think he is.
I don't think Rose has been a super middleweight for long. I mean,
no, he hasn't. He hasn't.
For like what, 2 or 3 fights, maybe. So,
but I got one more question for Tim, and I'm gonna wrap it up because I'm old and I'm getting sleepy. Joe Smith Jr., Artur Beterbiev. What happens in that fight?
Stop it.
Who gonna get stopped?
Come on, Tim.
Who gonna get stopped, man?
Oh, we know that.
Joe Smith Jr.
So Joe Smith's gonna get stopped by Beterbiev, or Smith's getting the stoppage?
No, Joe Smith Jr. is going to get stopped by Beterbiev.
Hey, let me get one more question in.
You
Tim,
know why?
what is your opinion?
No, tell us, Tim.
Hold on, country. Hold on, country.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you look at Joe Smith Jr., he's not really a boxer. He just comes forward. He got long arms. Yes, he has a certain way of the way he attacks, but the way that Beterbiev attacks, it's cerebral, bro. It's not. It's systematic the way he breaks guys down. It's not just like he's just throwing shots. He's placing his punches. And that's the reason why. And once he gets in the inside and he unleashes, he's a shorter arm fighter. It's gonna be a wrap for him. It's gonna be a wrap. Total wrap.
Beterbiev is one of the dangerous.
Did y'all catch me? Because my phone was ringing.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Yeah, once he gets in the inside, it's gonna be a wrap. He's gonna break him down and he's gonna knock him out. He's gonna stop.
Beterbiev got better defense than he's given credit for, because for a guy to come forward, he don't really get hit with a lot of bullshit. Like, he really don't. Like, he catch it all on the arms and gloves and put little punches together as he coming forward. And when he touch guys, they feel it immediately when he touch guys.
Yep.
So, yeah, it make perfect sense. Tim, always a pleasure. Always welcome.
Wait. Can I get one more before you go? Just one more.
All right,
Tim,
go ahead.
Tim, Demetrius Andre, Jamal Charlo with middleweight. Who you got?
Ooh.
I know he gonna say. He gonna say Andre. It's Andre, man.
Come on, Tim.
You said Demetrius Andre?
Yes.
Yep.
Versus
Jamal Charlo at what? 160?
160.
At 160.
Yep.
160 right now.
Oh God!
It's Andre. You know it, and I know it. It's Andre on points because Jermall don't like southpaws. We saw that in the cornball fight. He don't like southpaws.
Typically, I favor. In all honesty, I favor the guy with better footwork, and that's gonna be Demetrius Andre. He got better footwork. He's a boxer. I like boxers, man.
Turkey jerky, awkward, all that.
I know you got the boxer. I know Charlo's a boxer puncher, but man, Demetrius Andre is tough to hit. He's actually getting a little bit better. I thought he looked good his last fight. But yeah, I'll probably have to go with the boxer, Andres, no doubt.
Nice.
One last question.
One more, and I'm gonna wrap it up, country. I'm getting old. I gotta go to sleep.
Okay.
I have a last one too.
What is your opinion on Ellerby and Floyd keeping Tank fighting in-house?
Bullshit.
One last question. All
right, one more, Mark, and I'm shutting it down. One more. That's it.
All right. Hypothetically, who do you think possesses a bigger threat to Canelo between Bivol and Artur Beterbiev?
Bivol, better feet. I got Bivol, better feet. I think his jab. I think he counters often enough to get the respect from Canelo. I think it won't be hard for him to figure out that high guard. I think he'll come around it. He can penetrate that defense with the beautiful jab that he has. He can get out. He can move away from the ropes. I mean, I think Bivol is the toughest guy for Canelo. I know many people might disagree with me, but I see him being a nightmare. He's bigger than Canelo, a little bit longer than him as well. He can punch, and anybody that can move on Canelo. You saw a little bit when he fought against old boy Plant. Plant had no punch, but Plant was boxing well, and you had Canelo stalking him coming forward. Of course, you know he's gonna win most of those rounds because he's just being aggressive. But Plant was setting traps here and there. He just couldn't punch and get the respect of Canelo. He can try that. He can try that shit with with Bivol. He gonna get cracked. Trust me, because Bivol can punch. He's a sharp puncher and he's precise with his offense too. So
he got a laser jab. He got a laser jab. Great jab.
Oh yeah, but that's what you need against Canelo. You got to have a laser jab, and then you got to be there to counter. So when Canelo swings big with the big shots, then you got to be there to counter him, and then you move and you back on the jab again. Canelo will be rocking forward, trying to look, and try to attack, and he'll swing wild. You can see all that shit coming from Canelo. He swings wild with those hooks, man. You can see all that coming, and I think Bivol is smart enough to be able to handle that. So, who you think?
No, I agree with all of that because that's what I've been saying. That it's not Better Beef, it's not Joe, it's not Makabu, it ain't Benavidez, it ain't Charlo, it's Bivol because he can move and punch. He can, and that's the main thing: move and punch. Good jab.
Punch.
He's got a good chin. That's he hate those. He hate those. That's the one. Tim, always a pleasure. I'm glad you came on.
Hey man, for real. Hey, y'all keep doing your thing, man. Thanks for allowing me to come on, man, and just bore y'all to death, man. But I appreciate y'all for real.
Hey Tim,
God bless you, Tim.
Tim, you gotta come back
more often.
Nah, for real. I listen to you guys all the time, bro. I just be so busy, and I had a little free time right now. So, but I do listen to you guys. I pop on there, it pops up, a little notification, and then I tap in and just see what y'all talking about. So.
By the way, Tim, come
respect what y'all doing, man. I'm gonna let y'all go.
I'm out of retirement and show these youngsters how it's done, man.
No, sir. I got bread, man. ESPN paying me just to talk shit, so I'm good.
I did that, everybody. I'm going to sleep. Good night, Tim.
Always. I'll see y'all later, man.
There's a storm in the house.
God bless.